What's up, everybody? Jameson Tank here. Before we got started, I wanted to thank today's show sponsor, which is Matchless EPK. Matchless EPK is an awesome Athens-based company that I'm a fan of. They make these great EPKs. They made one for my band. It has your set list. It has your show history. It has bios. It has press photos. It has everything you need to get booked, and it makes it super easy for the venue. Everybody check them out. If you'd like to be in touch with them, DM me, and I'll get you a code to get 10% off. Until then, let's enjoy this episode with Florida Man. See ya.
How old do you guys do?
I'd say 35.
Oh, he has a
older.
13-year-old son. He told me.
Oh.
47.
No, not
So
47.
he's at least 13.
We know their minimum.
We know that beyond a shadow of a doubt.
All right, you guys ready to knock into this thing?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Jameson on the Rocks podcast. Today I have some very special guests with me, a super group of Athens. We have Florida Man. How are you guys doing?
Let's go. We're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great.
You guys are awesome. So glad you could be here. I came to know each of you individually, and now together, when you started the group, I was like, well, fuck, this is perfect. I like all these people. This is cool. They're at Boarset every Wednesday pretty much, except for tonight. So kind of tell me how you guys got... Actually, before we do that, tell me you guys' names, ages, and occupations with the band so everybody knows.
All right, I'll start. Yeah, we point at each other. We stand on opposite sides of the stage, too. We're like, oh, who's starting the song? No, I'm Drew. I play guitar, like mostly lead guitar, but we don't really like to think about it like that. We kind of like we split up the share depending on who wants to do what and what we're feeling with the song. But yeah, I play guitar.
Word.
Yeah.
I think that's wise.
I'm Allie Browning. I'm 22, and I play bass.
Word. Nice.
I'm Nikki Shotz. I'm the vocals, occasionally do rhythm guitar, and starting to pick up the keys.
About to say, I've seen some keys here and there.
Yeah.
I'm Kyle Becker. I'm 22. I guess for people that can't see us, Drew and I are twins. So, yeah. I also play guitar. We're kind of like the twin axe wielders of the band.
Thunder and lightning.
Yeah. Sort of like Drew said, we don't really like to think about it in terms of like lead and rhythm. We try to like alternate and keep it fresh, especially when like in the middle of like a jam or something. It's cool to change it up.
Yeah, because if you guys would have asked me like who's lead, I wouldn't have known what to say. You know what I mean? So it seems like you guys are doing well at the splitting it up. And you guys have been a band for how long now?
September?
Y'all started before I came in.
Yeah, so we actually, I guess, well, probably we started in like September of like last year, like 2021.
Word.
So this is we basically Kyle and I started playing guitar together because he started later than me, and he had finally like bought a guitar for himself pretty much, and like, acquired a guitar to have in the house that we live in, and we started like jamming together a little bit. And then we'd always like been talking with Nikki because we've known Nikki since freshman year.
Yeah.
About like starting a band, so we were like, okay, just come over and like start jamming with us. As we got like, comfortable playing with like other musicians and stuff like that, we were like, let's get more people in on this.
Yeah.
And we got the three of us. Like we definitely have a solid foundation here. And she was like, oh, you should meet my friend Allie. Like she played bass like in high school or whatever. And we went to a concert together, like in October or something like that. Where I was just like, Allie, you got to join our band. Like I didn't even know this girl. I was like, you got to join our band, play bass. She was like, hell yeah, like I'm totally down. And I was not expecting her to just come out and like straight up say yes, like immediately.
I was like saying yes, and then the next morning it was just like a night, and I was like telling my friends, I was like, I think I like joined a band last night, but like I don't know whose band I joined because Nikki had told me about them and they were playing, but I just didn't put the pieces together or whatever that night, and so I was like, I don't know who these people are, and I just joined their band. So I was like, I don't even have a bass, like I have to relearn. I haven't played until I was 17 years old. So I was like, oh man, like I hope they don't reach out again. But then they did. And I was like, oh, it's
One
Nikki.
day later.
I was like, oh, I'm doing this now, okay.
Well, what are the fucking odds of you guys actually liking each other and wanting to still be a band? You know what I mean?
I know, right? And then like it kind of helped. I feel like I saw Allie like applying to work at like Georgia Theater like the next day. I was like, oh hey, are you gonna join our band?
The stars aligned. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Yeah, so,
More iconic than the Beatles meeting on the train. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's kind of even more random how we got Dallas. Like, I'm honestly not even totally sure.
Because so moving forward, like I haven't gotten there yet, but we kind of went a couple months, I guess, or a couple weeks at least, without a drummer. When we play at we played the open mics at Boar's Head. There's a guy Daniel there.
As the
that's-
four-piece?
Shout out.
Oh.
Yeah,
Daniel.
we played with the four of us, and Daniel would just lay down the drums.
Goat.
He's got ears like no other.
He's
man.
crazy.
Shout out
like
Daniel.
He
at
looks
Boar's
so
Head,
cool,
for
too.
real.
He just,
Yeah.
like,
That
sits
is
back
a
there, like,
legend. Like he just doesn't. Give
He
a
just like
fuck,
we showed
you know
up
what I
and he
mean?
just
Oh,
had
yeah.
his hood on and he was just like he could like feel all the dynamics like before he like knows how to follow the whole band and he doesn't miss a single beat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if you get quiet, he'll get quiet immediately. Like
Dude.
it's crazy. Plus he's just really really good. So,
Yeah.
so he played with us like initially, and we were like kind of just trying to shop around for drummers, and we ended up going to see Shameless James play at the 40 Watt. That show that I think like Daisy Chains and Calico opened for them.
Or so
Yeah.
way back. Good one.
Yeah, that was a fun one. And Dallas texted I think Allie after.
Yeah,
that.
because I'd known Dallas because I did like one of their single covers a long time ago. It was horrible. Like, I told him, I was like, I'll redo it for
The
free.
single or the cover?
The cover. No. Theirs was great, but I did was terrible.
I know.
No hate on them. I like their song.
Love those guys.
Yeah, so I had known Dallas. I'd like seen him around and stuff, and so I like came up to him afterwards. I was like, hey, like you should play with us. And then he was like, okay.
I'm honestly surprised you went for it because they're pretty busy. You know what I mean? We talked about this a little bit. I mean, Shameless James is a popping band. You know, drummers are in high demand though, and
Yeah.
it's hard to find
yeah.
a good one. You
I
guys
think-
got one.
I think he likes to. He really is like using this as an opportunity to like do different stuff. Which
Yeah.
is cool. One time he told me like, I love that I can wear sunglasses on stage with you guys. Because if I go up on stage with Shameless and sunglasses, everybody's gonna look at me and be like, "Who is this poser?" Like trying to act hard behind me.
Yeah, we like went up there like after we got Dallas, we like he usually goes up wearing like a cut off Metallica t-shirt with like black jeans and it's just like black hood like
With the headband too.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
headband or like the black beanie, and we threw him up there with like a bucket hat.
Yeah,
with
it was the
Yeah.
fish. It was the fish
That was the
bucket
fish
hat.
one. It was
I made him
the,
wear.
the drummer's got the dress that has all the circles on it, and he like
Oh
was
my
wearing the hat with the
gosh.
circles on it, and like was wearing sunglasses, like looked like a totally different person back there. It was so
Oh, yeah.
funny.
Yeah, you guys got the whole vibe thing down, don't you? You guys are a bucket hat band, aren't you?
Oh my gosh.
sure,
Well, our
for
first show, like with Dallas at Boar's Head, so obviously sent the video of it to my parents, and so I saw my grandma a few weeks later, and she was like, "Nikki, I'm so happy to see you performing again. You sounded beautiful." But I really didn't like that outfit. What was that hat you were wearing? And my mom's like, "Mom, it's a part of the vibe.
It's the look. It's the
It's the
look.
vibe."
She didn't fuck with the vision.
Don't hate on the aesthetic. You know what I mean? You guys had it down, I
We
think.
love
Massive
to dress it up.
supporter,
like,
though.
At least twice a month, someone will be like, "So are we dressing like cowboys today or what?"
Every time I'm like, I'm dressing like a disco cowboy, and I never do it. I don't know.
Yeah, what's the decision making like on like, all right, tonight we're wearing tie dye, tonight we're wearing bucket hats because it seems pretty consistent like around the board.
We try to keep the decision making like on pretty much everything pretty much equal between all
Really?
of us, which like you make a lot of compromises and we have to work together a lot,
Totally.
which is really interesting. You know, we're forced to be close. Like
Yeah, has there been any issues with that yet? Like, oh, I don't think we should have done that, and somebody forced it or anything like that. I know it's tough to talk about, but I'm just curious.
I guess it's more of like we will have visions, and at first we won't necessarily see the same vision, but then moving forward, talking more about it, we're like, okay, I understand that vision, and let's work with it.
Yeah,
Totally.
'cause it's kind of a new project. Like we don't really have much established in terms of like an image or like what we're like really like shooting for.
And none of you guys have been in bands, right? Pretty much.
I was in one in high school.
You were in one, okay.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
else?
It was
The
in-
first Boar's Head performance that we played was Drew and I's first time performing in
What
front of
the fuck, man? That
Yeah,
sounded
honestly.
great. I was
Nikki's
there. It
been
was
singing
awesome.
for a while though, like
Yeah.
at Hinder
Yeah.
Shots.
I was in
I
a
saw you, yes.
Yes, that's how I
Yes.
met you.
Yes, at Hendershots. I
Yes.
remember being so nervous that night. You did
Oh my
great,
gosh.
though.
Thank you. That was my first time playing in Athens too.
Really? Me
But
too.
because
Oh,
before
yeah.
that I was just doing like a church band in high school, so that was obviously just basic melody and chords.
Yeah,
And then I did a band with my dad and a bunch of other dads in our neighborhood called the Dad Band.
Appropriately.
Yeah, so we
to
like
the
played a
point.
feu other gigs around town, but I never really jammed with people my age other than the church band, and that's not necessarily jamming. So
That counts, I think. It's a little jam, you know?
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
loud in the church.
yeah.
That's
Praise the
funny. Yeah, you played, I think you might have played an original. I feel like you played a country song or something.
Oh
did you?
yeah.
Maybe?
So I did an original that I wrote in like 2013.
Yeah.
Let's
That one-
In love
Nice.
with you.
In Love with You, yeah.
It's on Spotify and
It
Dude.
is.
I remember you played too, and I was like, dang, she's really good singing.
I was like, you know what? I want to sing something, and I haven't learned anything in years.
Yeah.
I knew I wouldn't forget the words to that one. because I wrote them.
They're iconic.
So
Was that the one that me and Dylan and all of us went to and we had you play it for us, or was that earlier than that?
I think it was that one.
Was
yeah.
it that one? Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
But
And
anyways,
then-
I was leaving and like I rode past you. I was like, hey, you did a good job.
Oh my gosh.
See you around.
Yeah, no, that made my heart so excited. I'm playing there later tonight too.
Hinder shots?
Yes.
Well, that's
Tonight.
awesome. I might have to slide by. That's great. I love hinder shots.
Doing another original.
Love to hear it. Well, awesome. So that's kind of nice about how you guys all got together, really free flowing. I don't have to ask how you guys got together because you guys have been playing together forever, right? Or
It's
You
funny,
know,
we really
sort of.
haven't. Like,
really? You said he just got a guitar, or one of you had.
Well, I've been playing guitar for a while, and Kyle actually picked up drums when we picked up music when we were younger.
Uh-huh.
I've been
Wee
playing.
lads, like middle school.
Yeah, like I would say, like I started getting like really into guitar when I was like 13 or so.
Okay.
And, like I had played it for a little while up until then, but I put it down for a while and then picked it up when I was like 12 or 13.
As you
And-
do.
Yeah, and Kyle picked it up later than that, maybe like early high school or something.
Yeah, I
like
want to say like sophomore or junior year of high
that.
school.
Yeah, it's like a couple years later. So it like took a while for us to kind of like be able to play in the same space, you know, because it was like I was still learning how to kind of play. Like I don't know, it's one thing to learn how to play by yourself, and it's another thing to learn how to play with people. You know?
Yeah, it's
Totally.
like I was always nervous to play with Drew because I was like, oh, he's been playing longer than me. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
play like I'm gonna
Yeah,
sound
With
like
shaking off
competition.
shaking off the nerves at first, which is really weird because it's like you think like, oh, we grew up together and stuff like that. Like obviously we're twins, so like we're super
Yeah.
close. You think there wouldn't really be nerves there, but also like when you're used to just playing only by yourself in your room, even playing with your brother is like, you know, it's still the first barrier. to
Yeah, a
break
little
through.
nerve wracking.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I didn't really feel like I was nervous at all our first time on stage. Like that was interesting.
That's
because-
weird.
Yeah, like I feel like the getting started was for me like the biggest barrier, like initially.
Mhm.
Interesting. Well, that's good to know. Give me a little backstory on the Aloe Browning right here. I feel like you haven't got enough words in yet.
Take
What
it
you
away,
got?
Allie.
Like
Yeah.
musically?
Yeah,
Yeah,
these guys
because
have covered it
obviously-
really well. So let's see what you
well,
got.
In high school, I just spilled tea all over me.
Well,
That
you're
was not that bad. So I guess the first instrument I learned was violin, and I was like 11. And I don't know why I wanted to play violin. I just decided I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it at all. It was like horrible.
What?
I didn't like my teacher. Well, I was like a terrible student. I never practiced. I just like didn't like it. And so I just quit one day because he was like, oh, you have to practice like an hour every day. And I was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't have an hour. I'm 11. Like,
Fake
no.
news.
I gotta go play, you know?
The busy
And-
life of an 11-year-old.
Little did
Yeah,
you
I
know
was
you
like-
had more hours than you'll ever have. Man.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. But then I picked up guitar when I was like 12, and then got to high school, and I was like, oh, bass is like the same thing as guitar, so bass was like super easy. And then mandolin, one of my friends had a mandolin, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna take that too, and learn mandolin, which that's super easy too. It's like
Same
two
kind
counter
of
chords,
concept.
yeah.
I feel like other bass players are gonna kill Allie for saying bass is the same thing as guitar.
There's
I don't
nothing
know.
they
It was
can
like
do.
it's just like the same. Like it's in the same place.
That's
I was
definitely
like,
how
oh.
it feels trying to do it as a guitar player, for sure. For sure.
It's like, just play the roots, man.
Yeah, that's all
it's
I did
that
in high
simple.
school. I was horrible in high school.
But I will say, from the first Boar's Head performance I saw to last week's, you were grooving way harder. Just by the way, you were doing great the first time, but last week I was like, damn. I was like,
Thank
okay.
you.
I was like, word, all right.
I've
got
gotten
the
more
funk
fun
from
with
it,
like yeah.
I imagine all of you are just increasing like tenfold just by playing together, right?
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
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 Especially every week at Boars will do that to you.
Yeah, and I feel like especially with the type of music that we play, because we try to like jam it out a lot, and so a big part of that is like learning to listen to each other and figure
Totally.
out what everybody's like doing. Because without that, you don't have the freedom to like transition songs or something like that. Like if you're not listening to what everybody's playing.
Playing off each other a lot.
So like the more we play together, the better we get at that, I think.
Interesting. I'd say for sure. I guess that leads me to the next question, which is, what genre do you consider yourselves? Would it be jam? Would it be a little in the middle of everything? I know it's a tough question. Everybody kind of looks around when I ask this one, but what do you guys consider yourselves?
Math rock. Like death metal.
Death metal.
Math rock, death metal, sludge
Second
punk.
new wave Viking synth bluegrass.
Taylor's cover band.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say because like right now it's a lot of covers and
Yeah.
it's very eclectic, I would say. I think that like I feel like we really approach it with a jam band ethos. Like I because the way that the performances go and the way that we kind of like we sort of sometimes we'll like halfway learn a song and be like, all right, well we'll just like
That's enough.
kind of jam the
Yeah.
rest out. Like we don't need to learn every part note for note. Like we know the general vibe, so let's just play it.
Yeah,
And Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just no you.
Yeah. Well, I think like it's stuff like that. I feel like we definitely are trying to like sort of get into the sort of like jammy kind of vibe. This is kind of like how we like to play, I think.
Totally. So not too stiff, not like playing things the same thing every night. Kind of like you want to keep it loose.
Yeah.
We've been doing like, I guess, adding a little bit of a funk rock twist to everything.
I could see that.
It's psychedelic.
Yeah, I would have said
jams.
psychedelic. That's what I thought. A little psychedelic jam in there.
Then last week,
I like that word.
we've been throwing in the slide
It's hard
guitar.
to spell though.
I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
how to spell it.
Yeah.
I had to write it in class earlier today. That was
Psychedelic?
Yes. Can't
What'd you have to
spell
write
it.
in class for?
One of the music business ones. I don't know. Can't
What
remember
were you
which
saying
one.
about guitar though? I'm sorry
Oh
to cut you
yeah.
off.
Yeah, no, we've just been adding slide guitar to a few more songs, which
And who's playing that? Is it just
That's
Kyle's
that's
playing
me.
you're the
So
slide guy?
Yeah,
Kyle's the slide guy.
I've only been playing it for a few weeks. So slide guitar is one of those things that I always have wanted to play because I really like the blues, you know.
Yeah.
And I've always been like scared to play because you pick up. First of all, like you have to pay for it. You have to buy a slide. Like I know, like it's not that expentive, but
It's
still,
not
you
easy,
have to
though.
buy one. And they're not that expensive, but still. But yeah, so finally, like at some point, I like over break, I was like, you know what? I don't know slide guitar, and I want to learn it, and I have 3 weeks where I'm just home doing nothing, so I'm just gonna sit down and like practice it every day, and like I'm still sort of like beginner with it, but
That's pretty quick,
yeah,
honestly,
it's been fun
3
to like
weeks.
add the sound though.
It's
into
tough
the
because it picks up
songs.
all the strings, right? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
this
and
sounds
it's
like-
cool thing
really
about-
tough because you have to have like violin player like intonation.
The cool thing about slide
yeah.
guitar though is like once you get the intonation in there, like you if you want to, can play pretty simple because just having slide guitar in the song is like cool enough to start with. You know what I mean?
That'll
it's like
do
someone's
it.
like, oh shoot, I hear the sliding thing. Like,
Especially if you're in like a
pretty
bar,
cool.
you put a slide. It's like
That's like, yeah.
like he put it on Sublime. Like he put a slide guitar on a Sublime song.
We love to mix things up like that too. Like we play covers, but we try to like arrange them in a way that's gonna be fun for us to play, and that's gonna be a little bit different, you know. So like
I can see that. You
yeah.
guys did the Stones one this week. Was it Miss You?
Yeah.
Miss You. I love that song.
Yeah, Miss You is a real fun one.
You guys
and-
put that one on for a minute. I was like, okay, this isn't the damn studio recording. Here we go.
Yeah. We like to do like the song transitions too, like kind of like jam something out and like try to seamlessly flow it into something else.
Oh my god,
It's like-
our band group text all the time is blowing up with like, oh, what if we do this song and then take it to this song? Oh, what if we do this song and then take it to this song?
yeah, and you know, from what I hear from the people who come and watch us all like a lot, our fans, I guess you could call them.
Yes, they're fans for sure.
Our fans. What our fans tell me is that they really like the song transitions and stuff like that. So like, and it's fun for us to play too because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of, it feels competitive almost, but it's actually cooperative. You know, it's like when you're all waiting to be like when are we gonna switch it up? And you're kind of looking around. It's like, oh, if like you're thinking to yourself like if I screwed this up, like we're totally fucked. But that's like the fun part of it. It's like high risk. You know what I mean?
Yes, like competitive in what way though? You mean
It's-
like as in
you're like
who's jamming the hardest?
You're
or
you're like competing against the song in a way because you can't
Gotcha.
fall. It's like if you fall too far off the beat, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get lost,
Yeah,
then
if you
it's
get
kind of hard to find your way back.
yeah, because
sometimes.
it's like we try to stretch it out and take it as far out as we can without any of us getting lost. You know, I feel like the more that we play together, and the better musicians that we become, the more we'll be able to play with that in the way that we like get used to playing with each other and stuff like that. Because
I mean, that's awesome. You guys are what? How many gigs in? 3, 4, 5?
I mean, we've played a good amount at
Yeah.
maybe like 5 or 6 at Boars, but
then
we have a
two
couple.
at the
We have a couple
house.
booked for this semester though.
Let's
so,
go. I mean, for you guys to be 5-ish gigs in and have like a whole vibe and like goal and like jamming songs and high risk stuff, like it's pretty damn impressive. Most people 5 gigs in, it's like Mary Jane's Last Dance, like straight like the records. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like myself included. You know what I mean? That's really quick for you guys.
That's a good song though.
That's a great
I don't
song.
blame
Great
you.
song. I'm not hating. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think any of us really like joined the band to be in something that wasn't gonna be like it's kind of challenging, you know. I feel like none of us were really looking for something that was gonna be boring and keep it in like all of us have ADHD, you know. So like if it's not, if it's not challenging, it's gonna get boring.
Noted.
You know what I mean?
ADHD.
Allie and I both had our appointments for that this morning.
I was joking before
Brain
you
doctor.
walked. I was joking before you walked in. Like anybody who sat in on one of our practices could tell. Like within 5 minutes.
What does a practice look like for you guys? Is it just a ton of jamming, or is it like, all right, we got a song?
It is a lot
to
of
do?
jamming. Definitely.
Yeah, it depends. I would say it depends on the practice. Like if we're about to play, we usually are like, okay, like we need to focus on these songs today.
Yeah.
But then we're like, wait, who starts the song? Like when we played at Five Side the first time, we like we were all looking at each other, and I was like, Nikki, tell a story. Like we got to figure something out. So Nikki starts talking, and we're like, how do we start the song? Like how do we start?
Yeah.
And I think Drew was like, no, I was like, Drew, I think you start. And he's like, oh, I don't want to start this one. Like, and we were just like, I don't know. None of us could remember.
We were doing a Christmas song, and it was
like Run Run Rudolph.
No, it was the other one. It was
Jingle Bell Rock.
Oh, Jingle Bell Rock.
Yeah.
It starts with this little double stop lick, and like I had spent so much time trying to learn the chords because they like, go all over the place, kind of, because it's like an old song, and I like hadn't quite like got the little double stop thing down in the beginning, so they were like, oh yeah, it starts with that thing, right? And I was like, no. Just started it right off.
Oh, I've been there before. Tell a story, Jay. We got to figure this out right quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how long do you guys practice for at a time, and where? I'm just curious.
So it's sort of. I'm sorry.
Varies.
Yeah, it sort of depends. I don't want to. I feel like Drew and I are taking up so much.
No.
Chris,
Go. Just let it flow, man.
Well, it's at your guys' house.
Yeah. It's mostly at our fraternity house at the Phi Psi house. Because we have that. You've been there. We have that huge like concrete basement, and it's like a great practice space because like nobody that lives there cares that we're playing music down there.
And there's lights.
Jamming.
Yeah.
And we have the fun party lights too.
Yeah, so we have like my old middle
Yeah.
school drum kit down there, and Nikki's dad's bass amp there, and so that's where we mostly practice.
Oh yeah.
If the fraternity is doing something, we can't have that space. We'll go over to Dallas's place and we'll practice there.
Nice.
But yeah.
How were the first couple gigs? I know you mentioned that you guys played a few without a drummer, which is honestly pretty ballsy. Good for you guys. Like, what was it like to be like, oh, we kind of got these songs, but we've never played them with Dan Miller. You know what I mean? So
they're just like the basic. Hey, we're at a frat party, and the drummer's probably gonna know this song. Like it was those songs. So
also, like
we did like
pretty
Shakedown
easy.
Street and Hotel California,
Nice.
which like they're like you know the songs, but again like that dude
And
is just really
Superstition.
good. Oh yeah,
Superstition.
Superstition's a great
Yeah.
song. Yeah, Dan Miller is like the perfect example of like honing your craft by like doing it every Wednesday.
he
You know
just
what I mean?
sits in and like just
Yes.
does it.
Interesting. Well, that's awesome. So tell me about a few of these other gigs you guys have played. Any like notable moments or things that you guys been doing during them that are kind of like noteworthy to you guys, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Last week specifically, that show really just stood out to me.
That almost was a lot of fun.
At
It
Boar's
was-
Head on Wednesday?
Yeah, they
Down
did
in the
like,
basement.
inside.
Yeah, that was really fun.
I like it inside. It's loud and all, but it was vibing there. You guys killed it.
Yeah, like right before, I went to Sauce House and was just saying hi to all my coworkers, and it's like, all right, bye guys, gotta go get ready with the band, and they're like, oh, we're gonna come see you, and then pretty much every single person that I bartend with ended up coming, and they were just there front row, like
Just vibing.
screaming, and it was just so nice.
That's awesome.
Having that, and then of course her brother David, front
Yeah.
row. He's our biggest fan.
David is our super fan.
Shout out
Shout
David.
out David.
Shout out David. Shout out
The
David Browning.
ultimate
That man
fan.
loves us.
I love
Like,
it.
I don't know, just having so many people. No. Most notable moment. It was the one for that Christmas show.
With the one in the Boars where we dressed up as the Christmas thing, or the
Yeah,
Five Star
yeah.
Christmas party.
The one at Boars.
Okay.
Yeah, there were
What
just
about
so
it?
many people there. Like
Yeah?
we walked in.
yeah.
Yeah. And so we walked in, not too many people there, like a decent sized crowd, and then we're getting ready to go on stage, and it was just packed.
Yeah, my
Whoa.
whole like cohort,
Yeah.
like they ended up coming. That was just so cool to like.
we had
be
a bunch
out
of
there.
friends there too.
Well, let's
Yeah.
go.
and
That's
then
hype.
like right after we performed, it like dissipated again. Like, whoa, was that for us? Like,
Every Deacons loves us. One time we were, I see him working at a musician's warehouse sometimes. I was like, dude, when are you guys gonna come play the open mic again? Like, and we were getting ready to play one time, and he was like, sorry man, I gotta have y'all play after Damn Old Cool Breeze, because if you play before him, I'm gonna lose all of the business here.
Kyle, you got to tell Jameson about the guy you ran into at the bar the other night.
Tell
Oh,
me.
I ran into some guy at Cutter's last Thursday, and I didn't recognize him at all. Like, I'm sure maybe one of these two like might know him, but I didn't recognize him at all. He walked up to me and goes, "Florida man, fuck yeah!" Give me a fist bump, and I was like, "Peak experience, let's go."
Yeah, you know,
I was
I
like,
think-
I'm a rock star. Ah.
I think so, it's like since we're getting started, we got like a lot. We made our Instagram basically the first night while we were sitting at Boar's Head.
Yeah, it was like right when we were there.
While
Like,
we
what
were
should
sitting
call
at
it?
Boar's Head, and we like
Epic.
we like had 200 followers like within the week, and we were like, it was really weird. It was like for some reason we were just like all these people seem to really like us. Like the Athens like Jam Ham group.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's huge.
Shout out Jam Ham. Those people are great.
Yeah, and I kind of known you guys all from there. You guys are all pretty active
I've
in
met
there. if I'm
so
not
many
mistaken.
friends through that.
Yeah,
group,
me too,
like
yeah.
accidentally.
It's
And
fun in there.
It seems like we like started getting like pretty popular like really quickly and stuff like that, which it's kind of like being like on the roller coaster going up. Like it's really fun and it's really exciting, but like we're waiting to hit the tipping point where we have the rush, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and we have a couple more shows coming up that we've like scheduled in February and March and stuff like that.
What do you have? Just curious.
We're playing what is it? We're playing Clark's. I think from 9 to 11 on
The
February
17th.
February
Yeah.
17th.
Well, word.
It's a
So Thursday?
Yeah.
And then
So-
Roadhouse, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and then we're playing at Roadhouse on February 26th.
Okay.
From like 10:30 to whenever. I think we're playing the DeFi Dads weekend too. Is
Yeah,
that what
yeah.
yeah.
Sweet.
And we're working on getting some
That's
stuff
gonna
at
be fun. I'm
Sauce
excited to
House
play
and
to a bunch
Clayton's.
of dads.
Yeah. That sounds great.
We're
In
working
Woodford
on,
too.
yeah, we're working on getting some stuff at Sauce House and Woodford and Clayton Social as well.
I didn't even know Woodford was still doing gigs.
Yeah,
Are
they still have some stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
they
wait for
have a couple.
Boar's Head to like start doing full bands
too.
again because I think we can strong arm Avery into letting us play there.
Oh, you guys can for sure. I'd asked him the other week, just Boar's Head in general. I was like, yo, when are we doing shows again? They were like, it's too cold. Let's wait a little while. I was
like,
Oh,
Let's
the
do it
inside.
inside.
The inside's
That's what I
so
said.
fun.
The inside is so sick.
I said, how about downstairs? He was like, oh, that's kind of loud.
They have
in
the
there."
screen too.
Yeah.
You know, you can have
That's
like
cool
some
down there.
visuals up there.
Interesting.
I
Well,
think
I'm
we had a
glad to hear
basketball
y'all are
game.
about to hit the Athens bar rounds, man.
Yeah,
That's
man,
exciting.
I'm really excited. We got our eyes on the 40 watt sometime soon. We got
It won't be long.
We got it. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
still
we're on
playing
like
around town.
we're on like the final path, like the Pokemon path. Like
Yeah.
we're-
You do all like side quests.
we have to
first.
boss.
we have to compete our way all the way to the 40 watt.
Dude, y'all will be in there for sure, man. It won't take you too long at this rate. I'm loving it. I have to ask, of course, where did the name come from?
Oh,
I know a
well,
little bit about it, but
You wanna tell the
there's
story,
no way I
Nikki?
couldn't ask this. You know what I mean?
So
Take it away.
we were wondering, we're trying to decide like what's our band gonna be. So we go to this show in Atlanta with a bunch of old dudes singing some jam songs,
Dead
lots of
and
tie
Company
dye,
show.
little
Nice.
Dead and Company, and so afterwards we're all just kind of sitting there trying to decide like, oh, should we go home now? Yeah. And so we're leaving, and this random dude comes up to us and he's like, man, my wife just left me for another woman. We're like, oh, okay.
No,
Like,
for another man. He's like, that's
oh,
her over there.
yeah, yeah,
She's walking with another dude.
another man. Yes.
You're
I'm like, that sucks.
Oh shit.
So we start talking to him, and he goes, well, you kids cool? And we're like, we like to think so. And then he pulls out this Altoids box, and we're like, oh,
Suspicious.
what is going on here? And I'm getting a little nervous at this point. I like turned around and started walking slowly
Yeah.
away. And then he pulls out these stickers, like little laptop guitar case stickers that in the shape of a
I don't
heart.
normally do this, but I'm feeling really generous right now. And he pulls out this tin. I'm like,
I forgot that he
I was
said
like,
that.
is this deadhead about to give us acid?
On like a, what was it, like a Monday? Like
Isn't that, I feel like that's a
night?
bucket list item. Like have a random deadhead give you acid.
I might get miracle.
Check.
But yeah, it's just these cute little stickers, like heart shape, and then it's the Grateful Dead, like little lightning bolt, red and blue on each side. So we all have them. You'll see it on all of our guitar cases.
Why did
And
an Altoid can? Why was he carrying him
because
with
he's
him?
a deadhead.
Yeah, he like had like you could tell he had like the last like 10 like pit wristbands from the last like 10 shows. Like you could tell he was
Damn,
just
he's a
hard-
real deal.
Yeah, no, for sure. I thought Kyle and I were huge Deadheads. Like all of our friends make fun of us. Like, oh, you guys are always talking about the Grateful Dead. You're always
Yeah.
listening to the Grateful Dead. Like I put like over 200 hours of listening
Yeah.
time into
And
them.
then your
into
second
them
artist
this
was
past-
like 7 hours.
And my second artist
Like
was
Dang.
probably like
7
Mac
hours.
Miller or something like that. It was like
Pretty
7 or
big
8
gap
hours.
there.
I think it's because other than that, I've listened to a lot of other stuff, but I mean that band like captivated my attention in 2020, and I've like been on the bus ever since. And so I thought I was a huge Deadhead, and then we show up to the like Dead and Company show, and I was like, I pale in comparison to
Yeah.
most of the people that are there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That was like
really
the
just
first
the tip of
time
the
that we all
iceberg.
hung out too, and it was
Yeah.
like I knew like because I didn't know y'all that well. We maybe practiced like once or twice, but like right when we got there, like immediately like we all simultaneously like took our shoes off like in the lawn. I was like,
Felt right.
oh, like this is good. Like I like these people.
It
Like,
felt
they
right.
take their
And
shoes off.
it was funny. It was like the perfect moment because like we had been practicing our first batch of like 3 or 4 songs together, and it involved like we played White Room, Shakedown Street, and like maybe 1 or 2 others initially. And so like this was probably after like 2 practices with Allie. We had just been like, oh, Kyle and I are going to Dead and Company, and she was like, oh, I have tickets too, and Nikki was like, I have tickets too. We were like, oh shoot, let's all go together. And when we got there, we like took our shoes off for getting situated, and like the band comes on, and they start first chord of Shakedown Street. We were like, oh shoot, we're like, it's our song. Yo, it's our song.
Damn, bro, there's your sign right there, man.
That's what I'm saying.
So
It was
naturally, like this man afterwards, we're like, this guy was iconic. We were talking to him for the longest time.
What was his name? Larry?
Larry from Florida. So on the car ride back, we're like, yo, what if our band was Larry from Florida? Totally as a joke.
Horrible name.
And the next morning, we're all texting, and it's like, Florida man. Florida man. That's it.
Friends. Like, didn't
But I was talking to one of my buddies the next morning, and I was like,
Shout out
Florida,
Charles
like big
Weiler.
butthole surfers vibe.
It was
Kind
Charles.
of sick. And
Love
he was
that
like,
guy.
Charles,
yeah,
man.
shout out
Charles is the
Charles.
best.
Shout out Charles.
Man.
Shout out Charles, man. Great guy.
Yeah, for real. But he was like, dude, you guys should totally make it Florida man. And I was just like, oh my god, you're so right.
I thought it was dumb at first, and then I was like, remembered like the Florida Man meme too, and I was like, wait a minute, we have a lot of potential here, because like it's like a combination of words that's like already like known to people. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Florida Man gets arrested for doing
this and
It's
that.
like, oh man, if we set it up perfectly, like it followed.
It has
like,
context.
Yeah, it has context. You know, I was like, oh,
Isn't there a Jimmy Buffett relation or something? Weren't you telling me this? That if you type in Florida Man, it like pulls up Jimmy Buffett,
Yeah,
or they call him that or something?
Because Wim, it was like Wim and the Cannons, and then there was like, oh, there's another Cannons.
Yeah.
So we're like, no, there's not another Florida man. You look it up on Spotify. There's
like-
like
there's like 6 of
7
them.
Florida mans, and then
Well,
bottom
well-
of it, Jimmy Buffett.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
that's it.
We'll figure it out when we get sued, I guess. Just like so many other great bands in history, like Blink 182.
Yeah, all
Led
of the good ones.
Zeppelin.
Yeah. Or
I don't know how the hell you're gonna be able to tell each other's apart when y'all start dropping music, though. It's gonna be like Florida Man. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Any thoughts on that?
You'll see the ones with
You'll
the
know.
female singer.
That'll be the indicator.
Yeah, I mean,
Flow
like,
Rida, man.
we like to publicize our faces and stuff too.
Yeah.
We like
There's no other Florida Man in Athens. Just
yeah,
you guys.
that's what I'm
Everybody knows you
saying.
guys.
And like,
Yeah.
you got to start local, and then
Yeah.
if we get into trouble with another band that's like in California or whatever, it'd be like, hey, at least you heard about us.
Yeah, honestly, at that point, I'd be like, all right, sick.
Formerly
Florida
known
Man.
as.
Well, we made it.
You guys would be formerly known as Florida
Formerly known
Man.
as Florida Man.
Well, that's awesome. Like you say, you'll just ride that bridge when it gets here.
Yeah, honestly.
So where are you guys coming from influence-wise? I know you mentioned Dead and Co. a lot and all that kind of stuff, and like if you're a lot of the covers, kind of like classic rocking stuff. Like, what are you guys' influences individually and together? If that makes sense.
I think we all listen to a little bit of different genres.
Yeah.
I think we
I'd
should
like to
go. I
through
think we
it
should go
individually.
individually because our
Yeah.
influences are very. And
Very
You guys want to do
different.
3 each?
Yeah.
Just
I
like
think
3?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll go last. Oh no, I'm gonna go last because I can talk for hours about it. So I'm gonna let
Yeah.
somebody else go first.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go first, and we'll just travel down the
Yeah,
line.
sounds good.
So, like I said, I'm a huge Deadhead. So, like,
Totally.
the ethos of just keeping it open and like, it's more less necessarily of like the genre, more about the approach. You know what I mean?
Totally.
That's where the like jam band kind of like scene comes from.
Yeah,
is
they
that-
kind of
that-
wrote the template, right?
Yeah, right.
Totally.
And if you notice, like not a lot of those bands follow the same necessary like genre that the Grateful Dead play a lot of like country-ish kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
also like a bunch of other world influenced kind of things. And I just when I didn't know that was like really a thing
Yeah.
until I like started listening to the band, and it really captivated my attention because I've always liked improvising like on guitar. But I also like heard the way that the instruments like talk to each other and was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like something that I would really be interested in doing and
I feel like
making music
they're-
that sounds like that.
Yeah, they're like an acquired taste, though, aren't you? Like, I
Yeah,
don't-
they really are.
You know what I mean? Like,
They
you're not
really
like
are.
10 years old listening to Grateful Dead, I don't think.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's another thing that I liked about it though, is it like forced me to rethink what I thought good music was. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome.
It's like it made me reconceptual with you when they're like freaking out on stage for 30
Yeah.
minutes. It's like you have to listen to it with a different ear than what you're used to, which I thought
Yeah.
was really interesting.
they're like a whole
Like,
culture, man.
yeah, it really is, and I found that whole thing captivating. Like I'm obsessed, you know. I can go on for hours about them. But-
Love it. Well, you
but
got 2 others?
Yeah, man, I
Just any
noticed
particular-
the John Mayer thing.
Love
over
John
here.
Mayer,
I know,
man.
I love John
Huge
Mayer.
John Mayer guy.
John
Love it.
Mayer was probably the player that really got me into wanting to learn the guitar. Like
Yeah.
I listened to like when I was younger, I listened to a lot of punk rock. Like Blink-182 was my favorite band for a really long time. But then
I had a Blink stage.
yeah, when I found Where the Light Is, the like live John Mayer album.
Oh my
God, that shit changed my life.
I love that one, bro.
I had that was the thing too, was like the way that he would stretch out the songs and just like solo for like a while, and like also just like he's got this like vocal quality to his guitar playing that I think is just really fascinating. And so I love his guitar playing. I need to get a Strat. I play Les Paul right now, but I need to get a Strat because all my favorite players have played Strats.
He's been that kind of player for our generation, you know what I mean? Like the Eddie Van Halen or Jimi Hendrix kind of guy.
For sure.
And Win the Light, that's live in LA, right? Or is that different?
Yeah, it is live in LA.
That's the one with like Free Falling.
Yeah,
and
that's a like 3 hour long like televised set with like Free Falling.
Do you know In Your Atmosphere?
Yeah, that's a good song.
I fucking love that
I love
song,
that song.
dude.
That's a great one.
I fucking love that one.
That acoustic set is.
I really like the John Mayer trio
Heavenly.
stuff.
Me too. All that
With the blues
stuff is
band.
badass.
Oh my
Yes.
God. So good.
Daniel Miller could do all that stuff fucking spot on.
No,
dude.
I bet he can.
We used to do Boards at Open Mic, and we do
That's Steve
Who
Jordan.
do you think I
drums. Let's
was? And we
No,
do
I've
that
been-
with
I've
Dan
been-
Miller. Sick.
I've been wanting to play. I've been thinking about playing Good Love Is on the Way because I really like that
That'd
song.
be sick.
And, yeah,
That'd be
I'd
sick.
be down.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Anyway, yeah.
Who you got?
I gotta say, like, bass wise, Tina Weymouth, the bass player of Talking Heads,
Word.
is definitely like a staple. For me, I try to I just like, she's very steady when she plays, but she's still kind of like, I don't know, she like gives it like a sound, like the band can be doing whatever, but just having like a steady bass line, I think is like really important. And also it's just like more fun to kind of play that way. So like when we're playing, we jam live during wartime to Miss You a lot. And that's always my favorite one
Nice.
to jam because I'll always I'll put in the Psycho Killer bass line, which it's like just super easy. It's like duh, duh, duh.
Yeah.
But then also like Michael Jackson's like whatever bass player he had, like I love like just kind of mimicking that, like the Billie Jean bass line too.
Iconic. Yeah.
Love that, but I can't say I really listen to Michael Jackson much.
either.
Definitely like Talking Heads. Oh, Laura Lee, the Krungbin bass player.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Oh,
my
Laura
gosh.
Lee?
She's like, I want to be her. Like I love her so much. She has like cool like Cleopatra hair. I don't know.
Cowboy.
She's
Do you,
great.
do you like the Talking Heads Stop Making Sense documentary? You ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
sick.
yeah. The
So sick.
like the TV one.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah,
wicked.
I love watching that. I was watched like a behind the scenes documentary about it too, and David Byrne was talking about how like the lighting is like super specific for everything, and I was watching
Really?
and I was like, this guy's probably like a nightmare to work with. Like he's just really like, he's like it's my
Particular.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, but I mean like he's great.
We were
David
talking
Byrne.
about making a show documentary. We're going to call it Start Making Sense. But haven't executed it yet. Well, actually, you get another one. I'm sorry. Well, no, you did 3, right? It doesn't
2
matter.
3.
I think you did 3.
Yeah, I guess that's only really like my bass
Yeah.
player influences.
How about bands, though, just in general?
I mean anything jammy like
Yeah?
Panic, Dead, Fish.
Word,
I've
word.
gotten real into String Cheese. I've been listening to them a lot.
Yeah, I've heard a lot
Yeah.
about them.
They're real great.
How about you? Nice.
I guess music wise in general, my dad.
Really?
Literally anything he's listening to, that he taught me how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
So all of my style just comes from how he covers
Yeah.
songs, really.
Really?
Vocal wise, I'd say my main influences are Christina Aguilera and Carrie Underwood.
Nice.
I'm not
yeah.
a big country person, but I think she just has really powerful vocals and awesome breath control.
Both of them.
I just love their range, and
It's incredible range. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's the goal
Especially
right there.
Christina, man. Good lord.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Any bands in particular though? I know what you mean though, because
Yeah.
like, I think there's something in just musicians in general. You kind of just look up to what your parents listen to a little bit. At least I did. It was like same exact thing, you know. So maybe it's like trying to impress them or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, any bands in particular other than them?
Not necessarily.
Yeah?
Up until this year, the main bands I listened to, like apart from the ones my dad always influenced me with, it's just Athens bands.
Word. Nice.
You know,
nice.
like-
I saw
like he
your-
was saying-
your Wrapped was AFTM #1 every year,
Oh my
right?
gosh, yes.
If you're
Literally
an
up
Athens
until
fan,
this
you know what
year.
she's talking about.
Up until this year, my number one was AFTM,
Yeah.
and then it's always been Underground Springhouse and Jester right under that.
Yeah.
Dude, Underground Springhouse is on my list.
Underground Springhouse is so good.
Oh my gosh.
We're fraternity brothers with their drummer, you know, and
Yeah, Sherwin.
yeah,
Shout out
he's a
Sherwin.
great dude. But they make killer music.
I actually
Like,
jammed with Sherwin back in the day. I kind of forgot this happened.
Man, I'm jealous. He needs to jam
Yeah.
with us. He told me that he's can be available on weekdays, but we still need to hit him up to do it.
He's very
So
talented.
good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he was one of the first guys I met at EGA, and then he was
me
saying,
too.
like, oh, you play the guitar? Like, we should jam sometime.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, like, oh, I'm not good enough to jam like that.
That was pretty much the synopsis I had. We jammed at Newsy Space
Yeah.
one time before he was even in Springhouse, and like afterwards, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not good enough to play with this guy." He was like shredding all kind of stuff, and I was
He's
like
so
power
good.
chording around.
No, he did
Oh,
hinder
yeah.
shots with me one time, and
Yeah.
I just remember like I did. I think it was Melissa
Uh
by the Allman Brothers.
huh.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, like he was the star of the show.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so good.
He's killer.
That's kind of
Yeah.
how like you've been like the kind of like liaison of like Athens music for a while though. You kind of do that like subconsciously almost, like you're just like all about it. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of
yes.
how I've known you like before the band. You know what I mean? You've been like at every show. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, I have this list ongoing. I think it was 128 bands last year.
Oh wow!
All in all.
And you
Last
forgot
year?
a bunch of them too.
Oh yeah.
What? That's a shit ton of shows. Good
Yeah.
lord. A list is a good idea though. I wish I had a list of every show I've been
Yeah.
to. That's genius.
My dad and I do Rocktober.
I
So
remember.
I had to see a show every day of October, and I missed like
Your dad
two.
does that too? I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, his
wow.
version's writing a song every day.
Yeah.
Ah,
But
Not
no,
impressive.
one day I missed is because we had practice. So
Oh no, that doesn't count.
Still-
You saw that show.
So
you know
we
what
saw
I mean?
it. Yeah.
All right, down there on the end, he's had time to plot his up. Let's see what
yeah,
he's got.
yeah. I wish I was actually thinking about it during that time. But big deadhead also over here. But like, I feel like as like a rhythm guitarist, like listening to Bob Weir's like crazy funky chords, and like the random
Yeah.
stuff that he played, completely changed the way that I view guitar. Like it just changed what I think the instrument can be, because there were parts of the song where I was like, oh, that's like a cool like lick or like solo, and then I realized that it was him like playing chords that sounded like a guitar solo, and I was like, that's so cool.
Crazy.
So, but that's been sort of like a recent development.
Totally.
I would say like beyond that, I've always been a huge blues fan. In high school, I listened to a lot of like White Stripes,
Yeah, yeah,
Black
yeah.
Keys.
Totally.
Going back even further than that, like Muddy Waters and like
Yeah.
guys like that, just like the
OGs.
real like old like Delta
Yeah.
blues. So cool to listen to like almost 100-year-old record like records on like Apple Music. You know, it's like
Yeah.
some dude is like wailing into a tiny little microphone from like 1930.
Yeah.
But I feel like recently I've been getting really into jazz too.
Okay.
Because like Drew was talking about like with the Dead changing the way that he listened to music. Kind of did the same for me. I started like kind of being like, oh wait, there's other like sounds that are not like what you hear on the radio, for example, that like can be like music. So I've been getting really into. I first kind of went through like I was listening to a lot of like John Coltrane, like Miles Davis kind of stuff.
Sweet, yeah.
And
I was gonna ask what in particular you meant by
yeah,
that.
yeah. So like I like listened to Kind of Blue, and the whole approach of Kind of Blue just absolutely blew my mind, because like I'm a huge like theory nerd, so I'm always like dissecting everything. But the way that they like structure the songs and focus on the melodies, and you're not like following chord progressions, you're just in this like floaty space of like key center, was so like awesome to me. And it also was like the Beatles, like the Indian music stuff and the drones, the drone stuff is so cool. You just have something behind you and you're like free to explore. I feel like a lot of that really like
Soaked in, maybe.
yeah, I feel like a lot of the like jazz stuff kind of shows through on the like jams. Like on the rhythm side, sometimes I'll pick like some funky chords to play that I've like picked up from, some song or some YouTube video or whatever. And then also like it's cool to like be able to stretch out and experiment with sounds that aren't just like a pentatonic scale. Because like it's so easy as a player to like play like a pentatonic scale over a
just
solo,
stay in that box.
and everybody's gonna love it, and it's gonna sound good, and it's honestly kind of hard to not do it, especially when you're new to playing live, because you're always like, oh, I want to play like what everybody like what's gonna sound good and what I know everyone's gonna like. But then like it gets really interesting when you start venturing outside of that, and I've been really trying to do that.
Totally. It'd be really easy to stay pentatonic. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's nice. What the hell is Nikki laughing at?
She tried to whisper something to me, like say it on the slide, then I saw in her eyes, she was like, oh yeah, like this recording. She like leaned over, was like,
Kyle, there's a microphone.
Kyle, I thought you said nude playing live, and I'm like, whoa.
yeah.
New
Chili
genre.
Peppers. Chili Peppers did that.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe
No,
we should do that too. We should
I
like
was
play
talking
chords
with,
over like completely
Dallas.
naked.
I don't
I was
know,
talking to
man.
Dallas
I don't know, man.
at practice, like maybe like last week, And when I was talking, each time I started talking about like the chili peppers, how they put like socks on their wieners,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, I have a better idea. Like, how about we paint the Angry Birds on our butt and then like moon the stage?" And he was like, "I call being the yellow one," and I was like, "That's like a great idea. Like, I want to be like the blue one." Like,
Gets arrested.
yeah, Florida man gets arrested for painting Angry Birds on their butt cheeks and mooning the stage, mooning everyone.
Honestly, iconic though. I mean, nobody would forget Florida Man.
I'd buy that Athens Herald and keep it forever.
Oh, for sure, for
Facts,
sure.
though.
You guys be on the front,
Athens,
no
Florida
doubt.
man.
Yeah,
I'd
Florida
report
Man.
about it on Grady News Source.
Oh. I myself was personally victimized this week.
Justice for Florida man.
Justice for Florida Man.
There'd be a GoFundMe for sure, I think. Yeah.
I'd post it in the
Huh?
Jam Ham group me.
Oh, that'd be enough.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a really wide array of influences, honestly. I mean, you come in all over the place with the blues and jazz and everything, and then just all across the board. It's like I'm surprised that it wasn't a little more universal, because you guys seem to be universal on stage about the cover. Is it hard to pick covers for you guys, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
tough.
It's like probably the most consistent challenge that we face is figuring out what songs to play.
Yeah. It's
Once
tough,
we
man.
figure out what songs to play, actually figuring out how to play the song together is really, really easy. Or like
So it's
you know,
just
like
deciding.
deciding.
We're working on
the
some
songs.
originals too.
Ooh,
Yeah, deciding is
okay.
because we want something.
We
We
have
want
a
to.
couple.
We want to be able to pick a variety of songs that like highlight all of our strengths as a band.
Yeah.
But also we want to play like the music that we like too. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all come from a little bit of different like musical backgrounds, like listening to different genres and whatnot. The songs that we pitch, like we're always pitching songs all the time, and a lot of them get shut down. And
Most
it takes
of them.
it
Yeah.
usually takes a
Forgotten.
while for us to settle on something that we're gonna play, but we usually like once it's in our repertoire and we can like play it like solidly, we're usually able to do whatever we want with it pretty much, which
Yeah.
is the fun part.
That's awesome.
I'd say I think one of the biggest challenges we've kind of encountered, is most jam bands you listen to, like other than Fleetwood Mac, like what female singers are there? Like there's not too many,
can't think
so
of
many,
any. No.
like exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
think
finding
any.
songs
And
in
it's-
Nicki's vocal range has been a challenge.
Because
Yeah?
obviously, like,
They're, like, too
I
low?
want to have songs that they can jam to because they can jam. But then there are other times where it's like, well, I want to be able to do something where I can show off my vocals, and it's just so hard to find that happy medium
Uh-huh.
because, I mean, who's going to come up and start jamming to Christina Aguilera?
Yeah,
Like
that'd be
Grateful
different,
Dead.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
You know?
like so I think that as we start adding more songs to our like because we want to be able to change our set list very often, and that's
Okay.
something that keeps it interesting for us.
That's like a
And-
jam thing too, right?
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
play the
yeah.
same set
Yeah,
kind
I
of
don't
thing.
Yeah,
like
like if
playing
it,
the same
I know
songs.
you said you talked
Really?
you said you talked to Shameless James earlier, and it's
Yeah.
nice because Dallas is used to it too because they change up their set list a lot. Like I've seen
Word.
them 3 times and it's been completely different sets every time,
Mm.
and that's something that I think is really cool because it's like it incentivizes people to go see you more. You know what I
Totally,
mean?
totally.
Especially
Yeah.
with covers.
Yeah, especially if it's covers because what song are they gonna do this time? You know, like or if you happen to have like a large like assortment of songs that you wrote, you know, like
Yeah.
But so like as we add, we kind of had our like base songs where like we need at least an hour of music to start playing parties.
Yeah.
And so we like picked our like songs and we were like, okay, we figured it out. And now we need to like start moving forward and adding stuff that is really gonna be something that highlights a strength of each of us. So we're like looking for some more songs where Nikki can really let it go and like sing, like really let her voice shine and stuff like that.
Totally.
And,
I imagine that's tough, like especially like 3-hour sets, you just obviously can't come up with a different set each time. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It's just not possible.
right. The fun thing about the style of music that we play is that we never finish a song in 3 minutes. You know, you know what I'm saying? So like
if we do, something's wrong.
yeah, right. If we do,
We
it
did not
means
do
we're
well.
because
It's a
somebody
big
forgot how to play
mistake.
it probably.
yeah. So like we always try to keep room for a little bit of freedom in each one because it's like you never know what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
And so, somebody might if you're playing one song and somebody might be really feeling it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to shut it down early before they can like really like
Flesh it out.
Yeah,
kinda.
exactly. Because we ultimately like when we play together we like play to have fun with each other, you know, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And like obviously performing is really fun. I love turning around on the stage and like looking out at the crowd and seeing people actually enjoying our music.
Yeah.
It's like it's like nothing else.
Yeah.
But also primarily like we want to play and have fun with each other, you know. So
Yeah.
like we we usually have like a certain amount of music planned to be like, oh, we need to start adding songs and like fill up the time. But then it's like we'll get like halfway through and be like, oh man, it's been like an hour already.
Yeah, well, like I think one of the, not to like backtrack at all, but one of the fun things about us all having different influences is when we do go to play all of those songs, like even if it is something that's, say, out of my vocal range, we'll change it up a bit, transpose it, and then kind of make it our own. Like Miss You, I'd try to add a few more things like that are fun, and
it
then
makes it kind of original already, right? Because
Yeah.
like that's kind of like our thing. We take my band personally. We take like songs that girls sing, and I sing them. You know what I mean? It's like instantly a little quirky or whatever.
Like
Yeah.
Lights. That was awesome. Your cover of Blinding
What's what?
Lights.
the Blinding
Thank you. I
Lights.
appreciate
I love
appreciate
that.
it. Yeah.
I love seeing you guys do Good For You.
Yeah,
live,
that's
too.
one of-
that
that's a
that one. That
clap.
one was so fun. That was
Yeah,
so fun.
so like that's naturally like quirky or whatever, different.
Oh, yeah.
So like you kind of got that on every song, but it's kind of a disadvantage, like you're saying, range wise. Interesting.
But then
So-
another thing that we've been kind of discussing is like taking those more basic songs and then just turning it into a jam and really making it like, whoa, is that
yeah.
Celine Dion, but like Red Hot Chili Peppers?
It's funny, it's funny if you pull up to like a String Cheese concert, like an Humphreys McGee concert or something like that. It's like you never know if they're gonna play some universally known song because
Yeah.
it's just like a party banger. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like we try to incorporate a little bit of that too because we want to know who our we know who our audience is playing in town, playing in Athens, playing at the bars and stuff like that. So we want to like throw in some stuff that we want to play, throw in some stuff that we know some people that are coming to listen to us want to hear. And try to keep everything fresh, try to keep it interesting.
Totally. So that's kind of something you guys keep in mind. It's like, all right, we're going to be jamming the song for 8 minutes. It better be something recognizable and or exciting. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys keep that in mind, sort of?
Yeah.
Pretty much
Huh?
every time.
Every
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, we also like to consider our audience. So like for example, like our set list at the Clark's on February 17th is probably going to
Everyone listening should be there.
It's
By
probably
the way, we're playing
Yeah,
Clark's
yeah,
February
9 p.m.
17th.
to
If you
11
didn't know.
p.m. Clark's
17th.
9 to
February
11.
17th. Anyway, so we're playing like two
Nice.
shows that weekend, and we're playing one obviously at Clark's, and then we're playing at the DeFi Dad's weekend
Wait, where's that first one?
on Saturday. Oh, it's
I
at
think it's
Clark's.
Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
perfect.
Clark's.
On the
Clark's.
17th, right?
On the 17th.
February.
Yeah.
2/17/22
yeah, so-
at Clark's
Anyway, so it's
downtown.
like we know on Thursday we're going to be playing to a bunch of college students, and we know that on that Saturday we're going to also be playing to a bunch of dads.
I'm excited for the dad's one.
Yeah.
So it's like we want to throw in a little bit of stuff that like the
Yeah.
dads are going to know on the Saturday, but we might forego that stuff. We might leave it out of the set like on Thursday in lieu of songs that we know are going to be a little bit more fun for the people that are listening to us because we want to get
Like
them-
No
'cause we
Hands
wanna-
by Waka Flocka.
Oh my God,
Banger.
Dallas keeps saying that every time he shows up, he asks Shameless James if they're playing No Hands that night, and he says they give him dirty looks. So
We have been working on some originals too.
Yeah, what's the process like for that? Has it been like Nikki bring in some words, or you guys start jamming something?
It's
like,
kind of like in our group chat. It started off, I was like, oh, like I did this, but then like when we get there, like I think for one of them that we're working on, like Nikki had some words, and then we just put some chords to it. And we've been like working on that
Okay.
a lot, and then the other one, it's you came in with that. I don't even remember like how
That was fun.
I'm addicted to songwriting. I've been trying
Good.
to
I
like
can't songwrite.
I've been trying to write
At
a
all.
complete song probably since I was like 15, and
Yeah.
for some reason haven't been able to finish one like words,
try to
melody,
write
all.
a complete.
But like,
Is that what you said?
yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
But like, I'm like addicted to like writing like chords and
Yeah.
like trying to find new sounds and stuff. So like, and I feel like Nikki's the same way too. So like, we like her and I a lot of times will text back and forth stuff like, oh, I just came up with this. Like, do you have any words I can work on this? So like, oh, I just came up with this little bit. Like, I have something to show you next time we practice and stuff like that. And then Allie will sometimes come in with the fire like bass lines and be like, hey, yo, I just came up with this.
I'm like, I thought I have on my I keep my phone right by my shower when I shower because when I'm in the shower
Yeah.
I'll just like think of a bass line and I get out, so like all my notes like or like my voice memos I'm like boom 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 like it's just me, or it's like a video where it's like hair has like shampoo and I'm like doop,
Yeah.
doop.
You ever listen back to any of them? It's like, oh god, this is garbage.
Oh
I
yeah,
do
there
that.
was
I'm like,
one.
what was I thinking?
There was
You know what I
one
mean?
that I thought was so good, and I was like,
Yeah.
"There's no way!" Like I came up with that. That was
Yeah.
so great. And then once I played it and recorded it and like listened to it a bunch, I was like, "This is essentially the Colt 45 bass line, but like with like a couple extra steps." And I was like, "Man, like this is kind of hard." Like I thought it was so good.
It's heartbreaking because you'll be so
Yeah, I was like,
excited.
no.
I have the feeling like writing songs is going to be kind of like playing shows where it's like once you get the first one over with, then the floodgates kind of open up a little bit. You know, it's like
Totally.
we've been working a little bit on some originals, but they're largely like unfinished right now. And you know, like Nikki said, she has some originals as a solo artist from before.
All
And,
love songs.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and,
Is there
for
anything
why?
else?
Corona vibes.
and,
Oh, God.
And like we talked about earlier, how like Kyle and I, this is our first band and like our first real kind of musical endeavor that we're taking seriously and are able to take out to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have the feeling that we're just kind of waiting for the parts to fall into the right place. Like once we get something is going to happen where we get a little bit of inspiration and are able to finish something we're working on right now, or be able to do a whole one in one day, and then I have the feeling after that things are going to start flowing out a lot easier.
You're probably right. Yeah, that's awesome that you guys are all interested in songwriting. At least if you're making notes in the shower and you're addicted to it, I'm sure you'll be jamming on that guitar every day and you're writing stuff. I mean, that sounds like the ingredients you need right there. I'd say just let everything flow. Like, try not to shoot anything down too quick. I wish I've been shooting like in the past. You know, it's like, man, I should have let that idea go. You know?
Yeah, that's the hard thing about writing a song. I feel like is because I feel like a lot of artists share the same thing where they think their own work is crap. You know?
Yeah,
it's like,
totally. Yeah.
And it's like when it comes straight out of your head and it's not something you've heard before, it can be like, this is so cheesy because you literally came up with every part of it. You know,
It's usually
like,
good,
of course
though.
it's gonna sound
Yeah.
cheesy.
It's like cringy at your
That's a cool thing that I noticed about playing in a band is that like the cool thing about songwriting a little bit as a group is like you can throw something in that you came up with on, say, a song that Nikki wrote or a song that Kyle wrote. I can throw in a guitar part that I came up with. Like Nikki wrote some lyrics. We came up with some chords. I wrote one of the songs I'm workshopping right now. I was like playing it over in my head for a second, and then I like picked up my phone and started recording, and I came up with this little riff, and I kind of touched it up over the next couple weeks or next couple days, and I was like, okay, well, I think I have an intro riff for the song, and so we put it on the song, and we're like, yeah, that sticks, you know, with what we have. And it's like it's cool being able to like do a little part and see how it contributes to the whole, like as a big group, because I feel like it alleviates some of that, like, oh, I feel like this isn't good because I did the whole thing kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like getting out of your own way. You know what I mean?
You just
like,
need somebody to bounce your ideas off of. You need like one person to validate you, and then you're like, okay, I'm all set now.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I know this is gonna be good. Or,
just let everybody do their part. You know what I mean? I've been bad about that. Like, oh, the drum should be like this. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking let the guy play what he's gonna play, and it'll sound like you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like last semester I was taking Tom's recording class, or not last, 2 semesters ago.
Iconic class.
Oh my goodness. So fun, difficult, but life-changing. And for the end project, a few of my friends and I were like, hey, let's just do a little song together. So we did, and I just remember coming over and sitting there like, oh my goodness, everyone here's so talented. I have no clue what I'm doing. And then I wrote some lyrics on my own and then brought them in. I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, I wrote them back in 2014 because the ones I kept writing were just not working.
Yeah, as they do.
So I wrote these back in 2014 and brought it in. I'm like, sorry, these lyrics really suck. So just pretend like you're not listening to them, and I'm just going to record it so we have something. And they were like, no, this is pretty good. And my once we ended up mixing it and finishing it, my dad loved the song, and he'll let you know when he likes the song and when he doesn't.
I didn't know. I was like, listeners, like, did you hear that?
You're good. Nikki, this is trash. He tell you?
He'd be like, hey, Nikki, you should add something to it.
Yeah.
You know, like in a supportive
like
way.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Good start.
Interesting.
He'd be like, yeah.
That's nice of him.
Dallas too. He obviously he's not here to speak for himself. He has drum beats like out the wazoo.
I believe
like,
that.
He's like dripping and cool and interesting stuff.
I love Dallas
he's
so much.
He's great. He's a great player too.
He's
a great dude.
His vibes are
Dallas.
just amazing.
Shout out Dallas.
He's
Yeah,
that
shout
cool
out-
guy.
For real, shout out Dallas. He's so chill. He's
Wish
a
he could
guy.
be here, but
Dallas-
I
Oh my gosh,
cap it
I
at
know.
4.
Dallas is such a good drummer that sometimes I'll like we'll be like jamming to a song and I'll sort of hear something in my head and I'll like ask him like, Dallas, could you like play this? Like you don't, like obviously you don't have to, but I kind of want to hear what it sounds like. And sometimes it'll be like no, not like I can't really play that. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like what? This man has limits. Like this guy just
Dallas is
what?
awesome. Dallas is really, really good.
It's fun playing with him too, like with the bass, because like a lot of times when we're practicing or jamming, like I'll just like kind of turn to him and like I'll like play off him and like play off each other. It's like the homies, the rhythm homies.
Do you know it?
Yeah.
When he hits that fucking snare drum, you know it.
Yeah.
Facts.
Put me in the bathroom at Boar's Head. Give me 4 different drummers. I'll tell you which one's Zach, I think. You know what I mean? He hits it, man. Good for him. He's got his own sound, and he seems like, just from what I've seen on Instagram, he just like fucking loves it. You know
Yeah,
what I
man.
mean?
Dallas is awesome, and
Yeah.
it seems like he seems like he really loves playing, which is
Good
great.
for him. I hope you guys can keep the balance going, because I assume eventually it'll be a problem. Like, if you guys are playing a ton of gigs, and James playing a ton of gigs, you know. But you guys will make it work.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But we like, obviously we love Dallas and we want to keep him with us. You know,
Well, you
like,
guys
I know he's
free
busy.
flowing.
Like, he's playing in both the bands and stuff.
Just
like
about
that.
every drummer in Athens is.
He's
you know?
he's really good. He's really consistent though. He's really good at like letting us know when he's busy, and anytime we need him to show up, he's always there. You know what I mean? So like, it seems like he's balancing it, and I can't speak for him because he's not here.
Totally.
It seems like he's making it work pretty well, which I'm happy about.
Were you gonna say something?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, like, a few weeks ago we were jamming, and then I accidentally pressed something on the keys, and I didn't notice it, but it had its own drum beat going.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
None of us heard it, but he did.
I was the only one that noticed.
And, I mean, I couldn't tell that it was messing him up, but he was like, man, that was messing me up, but...
We were
He was
like,
so
what do
good
you
that we-
mean messing you up?
Like, that sounded really good still.
Yeah, man, he's great.
I've been trying to convince him to take a drum solo.
Yeah, he said
Why are
he
drummers
took-
like that?
I don't know, man. He told us he
I
doesn't
don't
like drum
know.
solos. He's like, well, what am I gonna play? And I'm like, just
drums?
hit
Just like,
the
give me
drums.
something.
Yeah, come on, show off for the
Almost
girls
all-
in the front row.
Yeah, all the ones I played with, like, nah, I don't want. Even my guitar player, like, he shreds like every song. Then I'm like, all right, Bryce, give me a little solo. He's like, no, man. Like, what the fuck, man? Why would you not? You play guitar every day.
I know, and he's like,
just do it.
Bryce is like running down into the crowd,
Yeah.
playing solos in people's face.
Yeah, and we got a crowd of 400 people in front of us. Like, Bryce, give him a little solo. He's like, nah, man. Like, what? I don't know. Love that guy though. That's interesting though. I think you guys could talk Zach into it eventually. Keep on.
Dallas.
Dallas, I did it again. I'm sorry,
It's
Dallas.
tough.
okay.
You know, Shameless has 2 Zacks.
Yeah,
in it, so
2/3 of
That's
Shameless
true.
James is Zach.
That's true. I keep fucking it up, man. Yeah, I love that.
Still
guy.
trying to figure out who James is.
Yeah, still trying to figure out who James is. Dallas won't tell us.
Secret?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've been thinking that our band should get custom-made shirts that say "Jameless Shames" and wear them. to
So just wear those when we're performing. What's up, everyone? We're Jameless Shames.
That'd be a great lineup if you guys could get Shameless James, you guys, and somebody else at 40 Watt would be
That's
sick.
what I was thinking that too. You know who I really like? I like Cam's Damn Jam Band.
Me
Have you-
too.
Have you had them on the show
They're
before?
incredible. Yes, they're awesome.
I forgot the name. I think his name is Ben or something. What's the name of their saxophone player?
Brian.
Brian, yeah, I think. Yeah.
Brian. Shout out Brian. He plays with us a lot on Wednesdays when he's there.
Oh,
at
yeah, he's
So good.
awesome.
Boar's Head, and man, he is awesome. I've been really like wanting to go see those guys play
Dude,
and
they're
get a chance
incredible.
to jam with
Yeah,
them.
Cam
I haven't
has-
met Cam personally.
Oh, really?
But I know Brian.
Such
He's
a nice
cool
guy.
Yeah,
They've got a great stage presence, a great, like, their whole act is kind of down. You guys, you need to see them first chance you get. They're sweet.
Yeah, man. I've been
This
looking
week
out
on-
for
Yeah,
you.
they're
The
playing this
fifth.
weekend.
On the 5th.
Are
playing
they?
this weekend. Oh, I'm there.
Yeah, Sax Man is another perfect example of, like, fucking honing your craft at Boar's Head.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
He gets
He
up there
like
and plays
he can
everything.
pick up.
Oh,
He
yeah.
picked up on it. We played like last weekend. We played Scarlet Begonia's "Fire on the Mountain" and
Yeah.
"Never Been to Spain" and "What Miss You."
Oh, yeah, I was
He picked
tasked.
up on all of them perfectly. You know,
Yeah, I was
he's
tasked with
great.
telling him what songs we were playing.
Yeah.
Were there like Nikki turned to me and was like, just like explained it to him, and I was like, I kind of turned around and I was like, it's only a few chords. Like, you can use your ears. Like, "Miss You" is an A. Use your ears. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Yeah, and
The
as
thing
a
is, you wouldn't even have to tell him that.
Yeah,
you know? Like, he could have
exactly.
just done it.
That's-
Yeah.
I was just
And-
like,
as a new
It's gonna be
band,
great.
it's really cool getting to meet all these other people that are in bands and involved
Yeah.
in the music scene in town because we're trying to get our start going. We're really excited about our project here. We think we're really good. And a lot of people that we've met seem to share the same opinion because
I think
people
you're
love
really good.
playing. People love playing with us and stuff like that.
yeah, we think we're really, really, really good.
Yeah,
we think we're by far
Best band in
we're
town.
the best band in the world.
We're the best band in the world. We'll be multi-platinum by 2023. No.
I gotta say, that's the one thing that really does stand out about Athens, and I'm
What's
gonna
that?
miss once I have to leave
Yeah.
eventually.
You don't have to leave.
I hope not. Everyone that does like enjoy music, it seems like a family. It really does. Like when you go to college, you kind of get afraid of being away from your family and having that solid foundation that's always going to be there for you. And you get that at the concerts in Athens. I mean, you see the same group of people at Roadhouse every week, same people at 40 Watt.
Yeah.
And I mean, a few weeks ago, like, I don't even know how I met Allie. I know it has to be at a concert.
We have no idea.
No clue.
No idea.
But it just seems it's always so supportive, and everyone just kind of loves each other, and they're going to be there for you no matter what.
That's awesome.
The group is really great.
Yeah, and Con and I are kind of new to this scene a little bit because like we like joined a fraternity when we joined, so like most of our college experience has been like Greek life oriented, which
Totally.
we've had a great time with, but we're seniors now, and it was really interesting the first when we got added to the like Bands of Athens and the Jam Ham group me's, which I didn't know existed before.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, now I have a way to see when all the music is happening downtown because I've always loved live music. It's just with the fraternity responsibility is we were doing a lot of other stuff on weekends.
Totally.
But now that it's it's lightened up a little bit, I feel like we've really like gotten a chance to like I remember our first show at Boar's Head. I saw a whole bunch of people there that I had like recognized from my freshman year and stuff like that. And then when we went to see Shameless at 40 Watt, I saw like a whole bunch of the same people, and I was like, oh my god, like.
Yo.
This is like another like scene in town, you know what I mean? Like it was, and Nikki's right. Like it seems that everybody's really supportive, and everybody like loves to like crack jokes in the group chats and whatnot, and like everybody's like promoting each other and stuff like that. It's a really like nice supportive like community to be a part of.
Honestly, bro, huge culture shock when I got added in the Jam Ham.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Before that,
For real.
I was like fucking listening to like classic rock and like 90s, I was like listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was like, yeah, this is quirky, you know what I mean? And then you get in there, everybody's talking about all kind of shit like Humphreys McGee and like string cheese and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, the entire Jam Ham group me is obsessed with the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah,
I think it's you guys are nailing it because I think the best thing you guys got going for you is you're all super nice. Y'all are always smiling, which is great. And you're very like free flowing is kind of what I told Fun Room too, but like very like no one's like, this is what we're gonna do. Here's how it's gonna be. We're playing this song. You guys seem very like you're having a good time. And like you're putting jokes in the group memes and stuff like that's just funny, you know what I mean? Like it's hard not to cheer for those kind of people.
Giving people guitar pedal advice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who Brogan is, but if you're listening, I'm really sorry that you had to sell that chorus pedal. To be fair, Drew and I told you to get a delay.
Yeah, we did say
We're in too deep here.
Kyle and I are pedal nerds. So
I was gonna ask you about this. I thought it was one of you guys, but it's both of you?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Huge gearhead.
So you guys were getting into it with somebody this week, wasn't it? Somebody was selling something?
It was Brogan. He was asking what pedal he should buy.
Yeah.
He was like looking to buy a pedal. All I have is a Metal Zone and a other fuzz pedal or whatever.
Hey, don't hate on the Metal Zone.
Metal Zone.
Don't hate on the Metal Zone. It's a good pedal.
Like
iconic.
The parametric mid EQ on the Metal Zone. No, but I love.
Take notes, you guys. Come on.
I'm a pedal nerd because I'm kind of like a tone nerd too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm an audiophile too. Like when I listen to them. But I don't have the money to like buy new guitars,
does,
buy new
man?
amps. and stuff like that.
Audiophile Becker.
Like actually though, like
Pedals
it's kind
like
of a problem.
fucking $300 each.
I was thinking about like getting into mixing and mastering. And,
You
like,
should, man.
I learned a little bit about music production over like COVID, but
You'll learn as you guys.
Ableton Live free trial during.
But yeah, so Kai and I also really like psychedelic rock. So having a huge board of effects at our feet has just been a lot of fun because you can throw in a bunch of new interesting sounds into, and it's just like I have one pedal that if you push down on it makes like spaceship
I love that
noises.
one.
Really?
What is it called?
She got so excited.
So I have a TC Electronics Flashback 2
delay.
Yeah, it's a delay.
Nice.
And basically they have this function called mash that turns the button into an expression pedal.
Okay.
So like based on how hard you push it. So they basically built an expression pedal into the thing.
Word.
And they preset some of these like some of their like presets.
Space noises.
With like if you push it, it does like the self-oscillating spaceship sound.
Yeah, it's like
And so like we'll like end the song and we'll be like and I'll just
sick.
slam down on the thing and it starts like spaceship noises.
It's the best part.
It's so much fun. It's
That's
awesome.
I love to play around with that stuff. It's
That kind of stuff will make you guys super original sounding too. You know
Yeah,
what
I
mean?
agree.
It's
I think so
like,
too.
just different.
I think that's some of the feedback that we got from some of our friends or some of our fans too. Like
Fans.
yeah,
You
fans
guys
and
have fans. Don't
I
do
said,
that.
I say friends initially because like the first person who told me is like one of our fraternity brothers, but like also I've heard it from people that I've just like run into like at Boar's Head or whatever, and like we cover songs that I feel like a lot of people know, but we cover them in a way that feels a little bit off kilter, because
Totally.
there's a little bit of swirling and stuff like that happening, and I feel like people like the psychedelic flair that we put on stuff because it's different than I feel like what we've seen in town, what some of the other bands do. A lot of I feel like there's not a lot of bands in town that really try to emphasize the kind of psychedelic rock kind of aspect of it. Try to turn everything a little bit on its side like that.
I can't think of any in
That
particular.
one band at Roadhouse, the Elephant Husk
Oh
one,
yeah,
they were kind of like that. I haven't heard of
I know-
them. Like I think
I
they
haven't
changed their
either.
name.
I can think
I
of
know
the
the Daisy Chains too. Yeah, the
they
Daisy
are-
Chains.
They are
like
dope.
at least called.
They got that
dope. I like them a
TV.
lot.
They have,
I
like,
want
the
to play with
visuals.
them too. They seem like they're a lot of
I thought
fun.
they were from Atlanta.
Are they?
I don't know much about them.
No, I thought
One of the
I thought it was the bass
Kate-
player.
Jackson?
Caitlin was in my
Lamar Dodd.
music business class.
Yeah, I think they're UGA students.
Oh, okay.
so-
Maybe
I
I'm
think they are
mistaken.
too.
Yeah, they
Maybe
play
I'm
at
wrong.
Smith's
I haven't
a lot,
met any
though.
of them
No,
personally.
I think
but-
they are. I feel like I ran into I forget what the girl's name is.
Caitlin.
The girl that sings for them.
Oh,
Maybe I'm
I don't
thinking
know
about
his name.
Love Child. Isn't Love Child?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
they're
thinking of. Okay. Isn't
Yeah,
Jackson
Love
Fought?
Child was
Isn't
in
that
my-
Calico
yeah.
now? Didn't they change their name?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
So many
They were
bands.
sick though. They were really good.
Yeah?
I like them a lot.
Interesting. Is there a band in town for you guys that's been kind of like the template, like a band you guys have all went and seen a bunch, or individually, or together, and been like, oh, this is who we'd like to be one day, or anybody in particular?
I guess just saying a lot. We've seen. Okay, well, obviously we've seen Underground Springhouse
Yeah.
all the
I
time
love
because
those.
like
Goats.
it's Underground Springhouse. But we see like the regulars and Fun Room a good
Yeah,
amount, and I
they're
just
fun.
love the energy that they all bring. It's always
Yeah.
awesome.
They're fun. When we started off, I feel like Fun Room was kind of inspiring for us because they had three. I saw them in a 3 guitar
Yeah.
mix, and
Yeah.
when we started, Kyle and I and Nikki were all playing guitars, and I was like, oh. We can arrange with 3 guitars and still not be like
I heard-
not be a clusterfuck,
Yeah, I heard during your episode you did with them last week,
Yeah.
this weekend or whatever. What is their singer's name that has the acoustic guitar?
Oh,
Jack.
gosh.
Yeah, Jack
T.
T.
Yeah,
Jack T.
he was like, yeah, I'm the singer, and I like to hold the acoustic guitar sometimes on stage when I'm singing.
Guilty.
I don't know what to do with my hands if not.
Yeah.
I don't.
You
Yeah,
can
Finger
figure it
wiggles.
out. I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
some frontman persona on you.
Oh
Come
well,
on.
well last week I mean I was on the keys because we were trying to switch it up a bit, and
Yeah.
I mean that was the first instrument I ever learned was the piano.
Okay.
So I used to do like Italian opera and piano, which is
Really?
yeah
Quite the
so-
genre change here.
initial. So I started off doing that, and we're like, let's add some keys to it. So obviously, like I'm used to singing and just doing rhythm guitar, but with keys, you're doing one hand like doing some funky lick, and then the other hand's doing chords, while your voice is doing a completely different melody. Then I quickly realized when I got on stage, I cannot do the verses while I'm playing, so I'd just crank the volume
Yeah,
all the way
I
down.
was like, just pretend.
Damn.
So I turned the volume down and I'm like, blah, da, 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 da. And then
I didn't even.
we'd
know
go to
that.
the jams and I'd put it back up and I'm like, there we go again.
That's smart. That's them improvising, you know?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, honestly, it's funny. There are a lot of bands that like when you pick up, you might be forced to learn a new instrument, and there's a little bit of translation there, but it's kind of like learning a new language where like if you're playing in a band and are forced to learn the new instrument, you're gonna learn it a lot faster than if you're sitting in your basement trying to learn it on YouTube or
Totally,
something like that.
yeah.
Because like
It's like anything else.
your
Like, once you
feedback
start
is
doing
right
it.
there with everybody
Yeah.
around you, which is
That's
cool.
great. I could see you guys in that fun room regulars kind of category. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To like, I say fun because it's given. You know what I mean? But like not like super serious, like long.
Yeah, and I like to think that like for the most part, like all the bands in town are pretty much peers. Like there's like a
Absolutely.
I really like Springhouse too. I mean, those guys are great.
So
I like
sick.
they got a little bit of reggae kind of going on and stuff like that, and they really like. Their album was amazing too. I
Oh
thought
my
it
gosh,
was,
yeah.
I thought it was
For
killer.
sure.
thought
I
it
like
was
Live
killer.
at the Georgia Theater is my favorite.
Yeah,
thing.
we went
Yes.
to that. We all went to that show.
I was there.
Not, but I know
I probably
three of
saw
us
you
were.
there.
Wait,
I was
Was it?
working back. It was the first show I ever worked at Georgia Theater Security.
Yes.
Oh,
I
Wait,
remember
you
that.
worked there?
I worked
there.
I
I saw you in
almost
the-
worked there.
It's fun.
But then AFTM was playing, and I asked off, and it was my first week of working, and no one would take the shift, so I quit. And then
Yeah.
the show was like at the theater,
Yeah.
and like I saw the guy that hired me. I was like, "Hey,
What's
it
up?
was good to see you again."
That was my first night working with Springhouse at the theater. I was like, fuck.
Man, that
I
was
saw
insane.
him
might have
there
been
at the
Becker,
front right. I
actually.
remember
I
being
saw
like,
it, yeah.
Jameson,
That
you
might have
work
been
here? And he
Becker.
went, yeah, I'm just starting.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
They threw the balloons or whatever. Or was it beach balls or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen them so many times that it's like, I don't know which show is which.
Yeah, that's the thing about Athens is like, name me a band that's really sounds exactly like another band. Like, name me a band that's copying a band right now. I can't think of anybody.
Yeah, they're
Can't
really
think so.
not.
Yeah, can't think of
And
anybody.
it's funny because like the musical canon in town all kind of draws from the same place. Like I
Yeah.
noticed we play some songs that I know like I've heard Fun Room cover and like
Yeah.
I've heard some other bands cover and like everybody kind of shares like kind of some of the songs that are
I've heard
popular.
Shakedown
But,
Street and Superstition so many times.
but everybody does
Oh,
it
yeah.
differently, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So it's fun like listening to like seeing how different bands arrange it differently. Like we do Shakedown Street, and last time we saw Shameless, they did Shakedown Street too.
Yeah.
But we played it way differently, which is really interesting.
Or like I watched Fun Room do Superstition one time. It sounded way different than the way that we played.
Really?
Yeah, so
That's
it's,
awesome.
It's fun being able to play stuff that people know but mix it up.
Yeah, 'cause I-
Definitely.
I'd say like everyone's kind of not necessarily inspired from each other, but they definitely do gain inspiration from each other and kind of learn from and get excited. for
Every
it.
show I go to, I'm
Yeah.
like taking notes. I'm like, that's badass.
Yeah.
Don't wanna
Yeah,
do
actually,
that.
yeah.
I want to
Uh-huh.
do this. That's cool. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
always thinking in my head like,
Yeah.
oh, what do I want to translate to our performances?
it's like
When I do
research.
it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Or
each
like-
show is just research.
Allie and I will be at a show together, and we're just, front row being the two lunatics in the front.
The looks.
You
the
guys,
vibe.
yeah.
Yeah. And we'll be like, oh, they're getting ready to transition into this song, and then they don't, and we're like, that's going to be a cool transition. We should do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That happened yesterday. No, not yesterday. That was probably earlier this.
No.
I don't know.
Either
there's
Monday.
something-
We've been
telling
at the
you,
40
it's
watt every day
constant.
this week.
It's constant. Oh, we should do this song. We should do this song.
It's so
Yeah.
I
fun.
love it. That's
So fun.
great. I feel like it's been a while since there's been a really good like Georgia Theater local bill. Like think about that Springhouse show. Is that Springhouse, Big Chungus, and Family Recipe, right?
Yeah.
Is that the
Mhm.
lineup?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was-
That's who.
Hotel Fiction's gonna play there
Next
later this
week?
weekend. Yeah, and then
What Well Kept is opening for them.
Yeah,
or
I think
something?
That's
Well
dope.
Kept is opening for them. That's gonna be really good. I think.
Yeah, I'm excited
Mhm.
about that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like, when was the last time you saw like a? I guess the Springhouse and AFTM shows count, but like, when was the last time you seen like a good local lineup at the theater? Seems like a
Yeah.
while, right? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
the
I feel like I haven't seen that many shows at the theater. Like I know Jason Isbell was
Yeah.
there. Marcus King is
there
coming.
have been
obviously.
shows, but I don't know. It's been
There's been like a good like Athens.
Yeah.
yeah. There
Yeah.
hasn't really been a good Athens.
So those are
presence
always
there.
the most fun. I always have the best time at theater.
Yeah.
And then CBDB, of course. I love CBDB.
Yeah.
I saw him there
I think I've
once.
seen them like 11.
I think
Yeah.
I think Springhouse is opening for Kendall Street Company soon. I got an email. I got an email
At
about
the
that.
theater?
Yeah. at
Yeah,
the theater.
March 17th.
Yeah,
I
something
think.
like that. Definitely trying to go to that.
That's a nice
'cause
pair up.
Kendall Street Company is sick.
I was
too.
about to
like
say,
that.
Yeah,
these-
their cover Rocky Raccoon.
So
I listen to it on
good.
repeat. It's so good.
I would love to see like Springhouse headline, Fun Room second, and you guys first. I feel like that's the perfect
That would be.
lineup.
I think.
That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, I feel like we would all fit into. Like if there was another group of bands that I feel like would play a genre that we like, I feel like that we would be able to fit in with on
Yeah.
like a set list. Like I feel like it would definitely be like Cam and his band.
Yeah,
Fun
that'd be a
Room-
great
Fun,
one.
Fun Room, obviously. I feel like Springhouse would be like a dream to open. for
Shameless
these
too.
guys.
And
If
I-
Dallas doesn't get too exhausted.
That's what I'm saying. Shameless
I
would
feel
be great
like-
if Dallas doesn't get
Yeah.
too tired. Daisy Chains are cool too. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sick.
I was gonna say, I feel like if that set list ever happened,
Yeah.
I drop out.
I'd be like, I died and went to heaven because this is not happening.
That'd
like
be crazy.
that.
Well, y'all
that would
just
be
keep
so
doing
fun.
what you're doing, and it'll happen. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, first step be the 40 Watt Club, but I could totally see you guys like. I've talked about this as Fun Room, like Fun Room headline, maybe regular second, and you guys open. Like, I'm talking about this semester, you guys can make that happen. You're playing all the time.
Yeah, I think so too. It's
Yeah.
just it's up to the people at the 40 Watt whether
Yeah.
they decide to take us in. But
Shout out
I
to
know
you
we'd burn that
guys.
place to the ground. So.
I'll make a few calls. You guys know Bradley. Come on.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, well, that's great. I love to see you guys playing a lot. Do you guys have any plans to get out of town, kind of, at any point?
Yes.
Or conquer Athens first, or what you got? You look excited.
All right, so got one in the works in
Perfect lead-in.
April
Uh-huh.
in South Carolina at a brewery.
Nice.
And been meaning to bring this up to you guys. I talked to her about it last night.
Be
but,
there.
But there's this class reunion happening in Bristol, Tennessee, that we were asked to play at.
What?
It's in September too,
You
so
did
it's
not
like a
tell me
while
this
out.
yesterday.
Whose class reunion is it?
It's like East Tennessee.
Like what year?
It's the whole
I
country,
have
bro.
no
It doesn't matter
clue.
which class it
But
is.
anyway, so
Doesn't matter. It's a gig.
yeah.
honestly
Bristol.
though, I'll
And
play for
so-
whoever.
Kingfish was playing there like 2 weeks ago,
Oh, that's
so
sick.
Okay.
that would be fun if we end up doing
Uh-huh.
it. So I mean, obviously, I don't know where all of us are going to be next year. Hopefully, if I get into grad school, I'll still be here.
I'm taking a 5th year. I'll be here.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be here.
That was a question I had. You know, graduation is the unfortunate thing that kills the most bands in this town. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, is there any kind of plans to, like,
Well, I think-
maybe chug this along, see if it pans out?
I know that Kyle and I are applying to grad school here because
Okay.
we're in Double Dogs. And
You guys are both seniors?
Yeah, we're both. I think
We're all
of us-
seniors,
also
yeah.
seniors.
All
Everyone
seniors.
except for
Okay,
Dallas.
so this is kind of the year right here.
We're
Yeah.
all applying to.
I think that-
us three are applying to double
Yeah, the
Dog
three
stuff.
of the three of
Yeah.
us are all in Double Dogs applying to grad school. And,
Word.
I feel like I'm pretty hopeful that we'll be able to stick around. Allie just said she's taking a 5th year here, which is great, which means she'll be in town.
Smart.
Take like one class a semester too. So
Yeah, that's
much
nice.
free time.
That's nice.
Easy.
That's nice. I remember I talked to you about doing that earlier this year. Yeah,
It's a move.
yeah. I have a lot of free time. But still,
Get another football season.
still have an excuse to be in Athens. No, but we're all looking to spend another year or two in town. So if all things go in our favor, then we'll be able to keep playing around. And especially like you asked earlier about moving out of Athens. Hopefully during the summer it will give us a good opportunity to like do some stuff that's not in Athens, because college towns really aren't popping as much during the summer. So I feel like playing going to play in Atlanta or doing
Savannah or something.
Savannah or something.
Ooh, Savannah would be fun.
At
Savannah's
the
fun.
that rooftop place with the.
Auburn would be great.
Yeah, there's some bars in Savannah that do like live music.
A ton of
Yeah,
them.
me and Drew and Nikki were just there this weekend. 'Cause we
Let
were
me,
at
let me tell you,
Fraternity
playing in some of those places would be super fun, I think.
Awesome. You
yeah.
guys can do it. I mean, if once you guys get that 3-hour set rolling, which shouldn't be too hard as long as you guys jam on them, you know what I mean? Like,
we could probably do 3 now if we just
Yeah, we
jam
can do
enough.
it. We
Really
can do it
well.
now if you
Yeah,
stretch
yeah.
it out.
We can do 3 hours easy. We've done like an hour and a half on the same song before practice.
oh my gosh. Well, that's awesome. I love to hear that. I mean, there's this whole round of college bars you guys could be doing, like Clemson, Tuscaloosa, South Carolina. Like,
Oh yeah, Clemson's not far from here.
Yeah,
so-
Clemson's not
That's
far from
1
here.
hour
Neither
away.
Yeah, I
is
think
Auburn.
didn't Shameless just play there? Or is
Yeah,
that
Shameless did
yeah.
just play
I think
there.
they're Auburn. Yeah, it's awesome. Good for them. Yeah. So, I mean, what if this shit's popping off in a year and a half and you guys are, second on the bill at 40 watt,
Man, that'd be
opening
a-
at Georgia Theater? Like,
That'd
you
be
guys,
great, man. That'd be
You
great.
think that'd be enough to keep on Athens for a little longer?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
for
I think
sure?
so.
Oh yeah. I love playing music, so I'll stick around for as long as I can do that for. It's
I
a
love
Oh,
lot
it.
yeah.
to
Well, I mean, after our first time playing, like literally just 3 songs together, immediately got off stage and we're like, dude, I get why people drop out now. Like,
It makes
God,
so much sense.
exhilarating.
got
Shout
11
out-
weeks
shout out to,
left,
like-
but I'm
Shout out
done.
to like 40 people that were at Boar's Head that night.
Yeah, 'cause we didn't like really invite that many people because we were like, oh, we're just gonna see how it goes, and it ended up being it was just so fun, like just to do that. Like I hadn't done it since I was like 16 or 17
No.
years old, and like that was just like little things, and so being able to like do it, especially that one show, the one where there's like a ton of people, that one was fun. I was so nervous in that show. I was not playing well.
Yeah?
But like there's still a lot of people and they're like, oh no, you're great. And I'm like, okay. But it was still like a lot of fun. Like there's just all that people there.
Man.
And I mean, there's a whole fraternity rounds that you guys could play. You know what I mean? You guys have only played you guys, right?
Yeah, we
5
pretty
Yeah.
much only played at our place.
We did some reaching out to a bunch of the fraternities this week, so we'll wait to see like if anybody's interested. But
Yeah,
yeah,
spring
they-
parties. Playing a spring party would be really
Yeah,
fun.
playing spring
The whole
party.
If you're, in a,
rounds?
fr- if you're in a fraternity and you're listening to this, book Florida Man for a spring party.
Please book
Yeah.
them.
We will
Please.
tear it to the ground. We'll have a great time doing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I think it's just uphill from here for you guys. I think you guys should start filming anything. Have you guys filmed anything?
Not
Uh,
professionally, like on phones.
we have
Even that though is better than nothing.
Yeah.
we try to get people to like film us when we play live, because I
Yeah.
feel like playing live is like a emphasis for us. Like that's kind of where we like have the most fun. And like, obviously, yeah, we want to like cut some records and stuff like that in the near future. But
Totally.
playing live is something that I feel like we all like have a passion for. And we like have people like take videos and stuff for us when we're out, but we haven't like had anything like like professionally kind of like done with like videos.
I
and
think that
stuff.
would be a really good step for you guys, just because like that's the kind of evidence that you use to get booked everywhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just like it's cool to look back at your first 10 shows and
yeah.
like be like, oh, that was really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
In like a year, you'll be like, yeah, we
Yeah.
sucked. You know what I mean? You're like,
What were you thinking?
Yeah.
We've
But-
talked a little bit about getting recording equipment recently, because even if it's not like video, just having somebody to be able to at least, at the very least, listen back.
yeah,
I actually, when we're done with the podcast, I have questions.
totally. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's
But
do it.
yeah, we've actually been talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
As a band, but like it also takes monetary investment, so we're like waiting until
gotta make some money
the
first,
band
yeah.
Yeah, we
has
got our
funds,
first
that
big
way we don't have to
purchase.
pull stuff out of our pocket. Yeah.
We bought another microphone.
Let's go.
Yeah. Nikki and I actually yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago we
Monday, yeah.
because at Clark's we're doing like kind of like a duet thing, and we choreographed some like dance moves for it that we're gonna do.
Let's go.
So like buying that mic, like I'm pumped, like yo,
I haven't
So
even
wait.
seen that yet. I'm excited.
So you're about to start singing too? Is that what you're saying?
a little bit, yeah.
A little bit? That's awesome.
Yeah.
we want to try
I have,
to
like,
we want to try to add a lot of like we want to try to add more vocals.
Yeah, you guys
like
all
some
should
more
sing.
some more background and some harmonies and stuff like
Yeah.
that, because
It's
I feel like it
fun.
adds another, yeah, it's
Well,
fun. It adds
also-
another layer to the performance.
Also, it's so awkward doing Shakedown Street where I'm like, don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. And then,
Tell me
Yeah.
this town.
like,
Yeah.
like
I think everybody
You know?
should sing, just because like the bar for like background vocals, I hate to say, it's like so low. You know what I mean?
It
Like
really
you can
is,
do whatever.
it really
Like
is.
nobody gives a fuck. Like you just
Yeah.
go, hey,
Oh my
in there,
gosh.
you know what I mean?
We were mixing
And it
Jason
makes it better.
Isabel's concert in Barbie's class
Sick.
last week.
Live concert.
And it's just funny because, like, you know, you have to go isolate all the vocals, and one of the background vocals for Super 8, Super 8, you just put it on, and, like, it sounds so different.
Right.
Everyone just kind of, like, looked
Yeah.
at each other like, that's a professional.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's why
it
I
just,
think we should get multiple microphones.
Get
The
all-
more
get
voices you
4.
have, the
Yeah,
worse,
honestly,
the worse
like,
each voice can be.
you see,
Yeah,
'cause-
and I feel like like playing guitar in front of an audience was kind of something that I feel like I was kind of prepared for after having like done it in like my fraternity house enough
Yeah.
to where like playing for 10 people in the house, you know, made it easier to transition back into it. But singing in front of people is not really something that I do.
Yeah.
But that I am looking forward to getting started with. But also like when Nikki and I had an idea, we played What I Got by Sublime, and we had this idea where we were
Love
going to
it.
like go back and forth on the chorus. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'd love to do that. But also like it came time to perform, and I was like so nervous. Like I'm not going to step up to the front of the stage and go stand in that microphone right now.
You
with,
got
like,
it, man.
confidence and singing. So I was like, yeah, I feel like getting more mics that we can like set up just back in front of us is going to incentivize
Yeah.
us who like are not used to singing in front of people more to just like to just go for it, because it's not like you have to commit to walking all the way up to the front of the stage
Yeah, I
and get
noticed-
on the main microphone.
There was a mic that just so happened to be next to me last time we played at Boars, and I was like fighting the urge to sing into it.
Dude, see, there's your sign right there. You know what I mean? You guys gotta have them.
Well, the thing about the microphone we had for that show, it's a cardioid mic, so
Yeah.
it was just picking up. It was like this Omni.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you're good. You're good.
oops. Like it was just going in one way, and you couldn't really get all of the angles from it, so we really had to be like up in the front to sing,
Gotcha.
because when they were coming up to the side, it was really awkward because we're
Yeah.
like right here
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
get into the
80s
same
rock.
direction.
They
Oh
were
yeah,
like cheeks pressed against each other, trying to get our voices into the cone of like.
this
Oh,
ain't no
dude.
party.
I love it. I mean, and like you're saying, like literally solo, if you get a chance to solo any backing professional vocals, almost every time, unless it's like John May or something, it's like the bar is so low. Like professional background vocals can be absolute garbage. And it's just like gives it something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys might end up loving it. So
That's
I
one of
love
those
to hear
statements that like professional background vocalists are tearing their hair out.
Yeah.
Right now. Like, no, background vocalists
This
are better than the
motherfucker.
lead most of the time.
I like
Sorry, background vocalists.
on the New Year's Fish show, I was like listening to their background vocals because it was like around the time we were talking about getting another mic, or just like, or when I was listening to it, it was at least. And there was one song, I can't remember which one, but they start off, they're just like all kind of scatting and just like making noises. They're like in the mic, like just having fun with it. I'm like, that's just like, I don't know, it was awesome.
You guys could talk to each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's the kind of stuff that I could totally picture us doing, like going up there and having fun with the vocal aspect of it too. And I also feel like there's like vocal harmonies are like underrepresented in town with bands. Usually
Totally.
like the way that we started, and a lot of other bands have one person who sings like each
Yeah.
song, you know. But I feel like a lot of the bands that I like have like parts where there's like harmonies happening, or parts where there's at least like multiple vocals going on. So it's
Yeah.
like when you think about like what are the things that set good bands apart from great bands, you know, it's like, well, maybe we can add something that I know from bands that I like, professional bands that I've listened to that I like,
Yeah.
and something that I feel like is kind of underrepresented in town. And if you're a band that's got vocal harmonies, like don't come for me, you know?
Granville has amazing
fantastic
harmonies.
They're
Yeah,
probably
they've
the
got
best
great
in town.
harmonies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we
They
were
got good
watching
originals,
them last
too.
night.
So good. I
Are
wanted
they-
to go
are they
so
from
bad
here?
I couldn't
Are they-
make it. Yeah, they are from here.
They're from
Yeah.
here. They were really
Nicest
good.
guys.
I saw them. They opened for someone at the George Theater. I
It
think.
was Springhouse. When
Oh, Springhouse.
It was
yes.
the concert we were talking about earlier. We were in Allie.
They were really good, man.
I feel like
They
that's
were-
kind
they
of a
were- they were-
mismatch genre-wise, but good for them. I love
Yeah,
the
Oh, yeah,
I
it was
agreed.
such
But
a good show.
also, like they killed it. They killed the
Yeah,
opening. So.
their originals are great, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're catchy. They're
They're the
fun.
best
Smell
example of a harmony band in town.
Yeah.
And think about all the iconic bands like Beatles,
Eagles.
Oh, dude, the Eagles harmonies are so
Eagles,
good.
I mean, Stones. Anybody name? I
Yeah,
mean,
the
other than like
Stones.
Led Zeppelin or something. Very few of them get away without having them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is something, Beach Boys, anything like that. It's just
Yeah.
iconic.
And I noticed that like we've been going to see the Underground Springhouse for years because
Yeah.
like I said, our buddy Jacob is like the drummer of the band, and
Uh-huh.
I've noticed that they started adding. They've done a little bit of a lineup switcheroo over the last couple of years, but also like they've been adding more vocals, and I feel like it's really added to their sound in a positive way. And I feel like we can do something similar because Nikki's got an awesome voice, and I feel like something that can go behind her and like support her up instead of just like leaving her out like naked right there can be like really, really nice, you know what I mean? Because then it could probably allow her to be more ambitious with the stuff that she's doing.
Yeah.
Even if the rest of us are like unison singing like fish.
That's what I'm saying.
Nikki's voice would still be able to shine.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
get a vacuum cleaner for the vacuum. It's my favorite.
We want to set all of each other up for success, so I feel like having
totally.
background vocals is going to be something that's going to be really great for our vocal performance as a
I think
band.
so too, man. It's just
Well,
another dimension.
Yeah,
ahead.
even like on Monday, Allie and I were singing together, and like we were both messing up on certain parts of harmonies, but you couldn't really tell because you just add that, and it's like her voice has this nice deep rasp to it,
Let's go.
and it just
Bonnie
sounds.
Tyler, like.
Oh my gosh, it just
And it was
sounds
just
like
so clean and smooth, so it was like
it just
it was a
remi-
weird, like it was an interesting dynamic, like the layering there. Like I liked it. I think it sounded cool, but it was just like really like very like different, but it still like meshed together well.
It was
I thought
like spicy honey,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The more
Spicy.
different,
Yeah.
the
Chicken and
better.
waffles.
chicken and wa- yes.
Yeah,
It's
the more
with spicy
different
honey.
the more different textures, you know,
Yeah.
like the better it is.
Oh,
And we try to keep things so that like everybody's doing something a little different.
Totally.
Everybody's got to have a different sound, and that's how you keep it interesting and not just like a clutter of noise.
Yeah, we like sometimes reach out to people that we know too. Like I know we were talking to one of my friends this weekend about coming to sing with us because she's a singer too, and it was like that would be really fun too. Like we're like asking like Sherwin to sit in with us at Roadhouse or something like that, doing stuff like that, like pulling in
Play
like
the
other
bongos.
friends.
Yeah, we're like totally down to jam with like other people and like take whoever, because you know playing music with people is just really fun. So
Yeah.
I want to get as many opportunities. Speaking personally, like I want to get as many opportunities to play with as many different people as I can to like be able to pick up and learn. Because
And that's kind of like the jam thing. Like, no jam bands do that better than anybody. Like,
Yeah.
regulars are killing it with that. Like, the whole sit in with us thing, that's genius. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just perfect. You guys
Yeah.
should get as many people on the stage with you as you can. You'll learn something from each one, you know? I'd love to see a damn, a fucking sit in night at Roadhouse,
Yeah, for
Florida,
real.
man. That'd be sick.
yeah, we'll
That'd
just have
be
like one
awesome.
open chair, be like
Yeah.
have a couple of
An
instruments.
amp, one amp up there.
One amp.
Oh my gosh. That would be so fun, especially if you came up there too. I love how you interact with the audience.
Oh,
We need some,
really?
yeah, we need
That-
somebody. We need somebody to do some jump kicks. while
Yeah.
we're-
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
Do you remember
Spoiler.
where we were at Silver
Yeah.
and Nikki and I like we were like doing like the
I
jump
do
kicks like you
remember
did, and then
this.
we saw you were like, oh my god, like we were just doing your jump kicks.
Yeah.
One of you went over to the corner and did one. It was like a little like that.
Yeah, I think it was me. I was like,
That's when your
like
rib was
twitching.
broken.
oh yeah, my rib was broken then.
What?
Yeah, so I was like,
Yeah, that's why we
Still
weren't front
nailed it.
row.
yeah,
That's why
you
we
were
were in the
bumping
back.
into me, and I was
You
like,
could push
I
around.
was having like stand like guarding it.
What was that? AFTM?
Yeah.
That was really great. I enjoyed
Last
that.
time seeing Cherry perform.
Rest in peace. No, I'm just
You
kidding.
need
He's still with us. Love John.
We miss
They
him,
just
we miss
moved out like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
Is
I
he-
wish there was more silver shows. Like I enjoy those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
hit-
a little rough, but
we
you
hit
know,
we hit them up, but I don't think they're.
Yeah, they don't
they
respond
don't
to
hit me
me.
back either. And I know the owner guy. Like I've talked to him about it.
Yeah, what
before,
the heck?
so-
They're missing out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Woodford
okay,
didn't
that's the
like hit us back up either, and I worked there.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like talking to my boss. I'm like, yeah, like get us to play.
Calling
Some
you
of
out
these
Woodford.
places that have bands don't have bands as often as they should. You know?
Yeah.
Like Silver's a great example of that. Like
Yeah.
I've seen Fun Room there, and like obviously you guys talked about like seeing AFTM there and stuff like that. But it's like once every 2 months,
Yeah.
if you're lucky, that they have a band there.
And it's always packed, so I just don't really get it.
Yeah, I know they bring in
I'd love to
business
figure
and
it
stuff,
out.
so I don't understand why they do that.
But Clark's and Roadhouse have stepped up this year. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
they're
yeah.
murdering it.
Like
Yeah.
I would not have gone to Roadhouse until
I didn't even heard of it for the past 3 years. I didn't even
Yeah,
know it
I've only
fucking
heard of it from
existed.
Sherwin. Pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, he's always like, "Oh, we're playing at Roadhouse."
Once they started playing there, I was like, "What the fuck? Where the fuck is this place
Yeah.
at?" You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I was like,
I-
why?
I had always walked by it, but I assumed it was like a towny bar, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, like.
So it's just, somebody put it on the fucking map. The
No,
past
that place is-
year.
it
that
is
place
my
is definitely-
favorite place to go now.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that is
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
I'm
It's
really
like
excited.
home.
I'm really excited to play there.
Is anybody
'cause
playing
it's-
there tomorrow?
Someone's playing there this weekend.
Fun.
Fun.
No, the
Fun
regulars
Room's on the
fun.
5th.
Regulars was last week. It
Yeah.
must be Fun Room
Yeah,
on
Fun
Must be
Saturday.
Room's
Fun
on
Room this
the
weekend.
I
fifth.
saw Alien Fun Academy. Bradley Reeves is doing. That's a good band that you guys kind of are similar to. They're doing like a album fun show. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's
Is
pretty
that
cool.
Are they doing it at the
Very
40 watt?
No, it's
No,
at
they're-
Roadhouse.
Oh,
I
it's at
think.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
19th, I think.
Something like that.
I'm designing their cover. Album cover.
Yeah, Bradley told me that. That's awesome. Yeah, you're killing it with the covers. You're
Thank
designing
you.
everybody's cover.
Oh,
aren't
I know.
you?
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
like I have a monopoly
Yeah,
over
for any,
everyone.
for any listeners or viewers who don't know, Allie does a lot of the artwork for the bands in town. Like she'll do album covers and like concert posters and stuff like that. So she's well connected.
Not just covers, man. These are like
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
detailed.
Yeah.
Like, how do
Yeah.
you
For
make these so
real.
quick?
Oh, it's not quick.
Yeah?
Like
It's
I'm
like
supposed
y'all.
to do fun rooms, and I think I have it like saved like 16 drafts of their cover
Holy
because
shit.
everything I make, I'm like, this is absolute garbage. But
Yeah.
so I had this like idea and I've been sketching it out, and I bought like this special like engineering graph paper that's supposed to like help with isometric drawing.
What?
And so I was like, this is it. Like I've already sketched out the idea. It's like, I don't know. It's taken me like almost 2 months to do it just because everything I made, I'm like, oh, like I hate it. Like I can't like give this to them. Like it's like that'd be like
think they mentioned
disrespectful.
They might have mentioned it on the podcast. I feel like they said something
Yeah.
about you
Yeah,
doing
Fun
it.
Room shouted
Yeah.
out Allie when they were. I was
Yeah.
listening to the episode today, and they shouted her out.
Yeah, what's your? Isn't it Aloe Perp?
Yeah.
Is that your follow on
Yeah.
Instagram? You should tell everybody.
Aloe Perp.
Yeah, I
Pin
like it.
name, stage name.
Yeah.
Follow at Aloe Perp on
Yeah,
Instagram.
you
Check
need
out her
cover
artwork.
art, hit her, and graphics too. Like you just do like show graphics, right?
Oh, every time we're like, hey, let's play Boars this Wednesday, she goes, I'll go make the graphic. And then just a few hours later, graphic.
Yeah,
there.
graphic,
Yeah.
Every single one we have on Instagram,
One of
she's
the
done.
shows-
They're good every time too.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
When I played at you guys' fraternity, you were like, I got a friend who makes graphics. I'll get.
Oh,
him
she made
graphic
yours
made.
too for
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you sent it over. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was
Yeah,
like, you got a
exactly.
friend that
That's
makes
what
graphics. You didn't tell me it was fucking Picasso, bro.
No, literally,
I
that's
got
crazy.
real into that
It's
one
better
too.
than
Like I was like
Picasso,
really
it's
like I was like
Alan
editing the picture for that one. I was like really like kind of goaded and like
Yeah.
merging and like layering and like displacing stuff. Like I was having a lot of fun with that one.
Literally,
That
I
was
was like,
awesome.
I had never like I looked at her art page, but I hadn't like not really like really looked at any of her stuff. So I knew she did it because she was like a graphic. You're graphic design, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, she's a graphic design major.
Makes sense.
So I was like, hey, can you do this this poster? And she's like, yeah, like send me a couple like pictures for inspiration. So I was like found some old like Van Halen like
Yeah.
posters and stuff like that, sent it over. And then like a couple hours later, she sends back this like I mean you can see the final
Dude.
product of it now.
I'll tag it in the video because
Yeah,
it's fucking sick.
it's such
yeah.
a cool graphic.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
I talked to you about making an album. I want to just take that fucking gravity you did and make it into an album cover. That's what
Oh,
you
I
should
can
do.
do it. I mean, I'll make it like more
Square, of
formatted
course.
because the way that like it was cropped, like I didn't know that y'all wanted to post on Instagram. I thought it wanted to be like a story, so it was like the wrong size. So I could like make it.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and I'll like
We'll
spend
talk
more
about
time
this
on
eventually.
it too.
Yeah,
I
that'd
like
be sick.
the picture you had on your Instagram of like it was like your basically like your head and shoulders like from the back you could like kind of see the audience. From
Yeah,
that
was
that
cool.
picture was sick. That's
Thank
got
you,
that's got to
man.
be used for something.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was
Thank,
so
I
cool.
appreciate that.
So
You
cool.
guys need to hit up Garrett Cardoso took those pictures. You guys ever heard
Yeah.
of this guy? He's
He's
been on the show before. He's incredible.
I don't know.
I think I see him in like one of the group. Usually, I recognize the
I
name.
think he's in there. His name on Instagram is doso.jpg. I think you should
Yeah,
follow him.
I've seen that. I've seen his
Yeah.
pictures before because every concert that I've seen where they like tag the photographer, it's always him. And I've always like looked
Yeah.
at his pictures like this guy's like just very talented.
First chance you guys get where you need pictures, hit Doso.
Yeah, we'll
He's
check
the
him.
fucking dude.
We'll
Like,
hit him up for sure.
Yeah.
he'll send you like 125 like badass photos.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
holy
cool.
dick.
That's
yeah.
one of
That's
the
cool,
things,
that's cool.
like, up until this. So I'm doing journalism, and I was doing the whole
course.
photojournalism path. And so because of that, I got to, like, take lots of concert pictures this past semester.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, it is so difficult. And anyone that actually can do that, mad respect for them, because the lighting is just
Usually
insane
awful,
there.
yeah. It's
Because you
usually
have
awful.
the light on stage, it's like just not lining up with the sensors. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden there's a laser and like your camera's ruined.
Yeah. It's straight up an art that I didn't even realize existed. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like concert photography is
Yeah.
a fucking art.
It
It's very
is.
impressive.
Completely different from then like just portraits and
Totally. Yeah.
sports.
And speaking of art, we're like in the middle of starting to work on like a band logo for ourselves too. So we'll
you
have
guys are
some-
making all the right steps. I love it.
Yeah, we're trying to find some inspiration for it right now. There are so many ways to go. It's hard to
Yeah.
find something that you're gonna settle on.
Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
so funny. The other day, Allie sent us a picture of this like face that she was working on. And she's like, guys, I have this like awesome logo idea, and it's like
I sketched
it's,
it, like, 2 years ago.
It's like this sketched out face. She's like, yeah, we can like put it on a sun, and I was like, yeah, really cool idea. Like, is there any like concern about it being really close to the sublime like sun face thing? And she kind of like responds, and then a few minutes later just goes, oh damn it.
I was like, no, there's gonna be like half a sun. There's gonna be like trees, but they're gonna be cut out. And then I was like, ooh.
Yeah, so we're working on that right now. So I'm excited for that too, because like I think the part of being a band too, like the visual aspect of it too, is like
So
like
important.
when I look at your guys' logo, like I get the vibe.
Y'all
Yeah.
have like a
I mean,
look, like
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
band. Like I was because I was
Yeah.
looking at the Smoke Me Out song. Like I was looking at the cover for that,
Yeah.
and I was looking at like all
Great
the other
song,
stuff.
by the
It's just
way.
very like systematic and like very like it's like a brand.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is like
yeah.
it's such a great thing to do because then it's like, oh boom, recognize, like it's almost like the Bauhaus and like their stuff is there all. It's like you can get like these shapes and colors and put them in any way, but it's it's Bauhaus.
Yeah, and all the
Thank
best
you, I appreciate
albums,
that.
all the best albums have good album
Yeah.
covers and stuff like that. Being a band, I feel like the visual language of your band is almost as important as the
important. Yeah.
sonic language.
And it's a lot more purposeful than you think. Like you
Yeah.
say about it being a brand, Allie, like that's super purposeful. Like
Mm-hmm.
all our graphics kind of look similar, like
Yeah.
our vibe, you know what I mean? And you guys already got it going like without even thinking about it. So
Yeah, we just
hold on to that.
We're just looking for something that can kind of like visually represent what we feel like we're kind of like sonically about.
Yeah.
We have a good PR team.
We have a great PR team. Shout out
Qualified.
Us. Shout out us.
Look at us go.
Yeah. Even like we've been also like doing like stuff like at the concerts to make them look cool. Like
Yeah.
Drew and I really like the way that like the Grateful Dead in the early '70s would like cover all of their amps in like tie dye. So we have like some cool like trippy tapestries that we'll like put behind us.
That's what
And like
Jam band would do that.
I'm sure Allie will be
and-
excited to hear that I just recently learned that someone in our fraternity bought a projector so we can use that.
I have a projector.
She has this. She's had an idea for something to like
R.I.P.
visually
TV.
put on the wall like while we perform and stuff like that, which I'm totally about.
Yeah,
I
or
think
like
that's
we
so cool.
or like we talked about too doing like the I don't know if you've ever seen the Daisy Chains play, but they have this like TV monitor, and it just I forget like what it's showing on it, but it's showing like cool like weird stuff in like black and white. And
That's
I remember
awesome.
talking to one of their guitarists, I think both their names are Jack, about it. And he was just like, yeah, man, we just like thrifted this and it's here. I was like, well, it's sick. And then Allie brought it up one day at practice. And
Yeah,
I was
because I'm
like, yo,
taking
that
an
is cool.
animation class, so I'd be able to like use like the professional software if I could ever learn it. I don't really know how to do it.
Right now,
Still working.
we have a pineapple that sits on stage with us. That,
Iconic.
I keep flipping it upside down.
I know, I hate that pineapple though. I had to do a project where the whole semester I'd have to draw like 100 pineapples a week, but all like differently. So every time like you're like, oh, maybe the
Dude, we
pineapple
should
should be
totally do a
logo.
pineapple logo.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I literally have like thousands
Yeah.
of.
You have options.
I might have like
send those pictures of them.
I
We
was
should
covering
totally
you on that,
comb through
remember?
them.
Yeah, so
That's
we
when I barely
yeah.
knew you.
we're always brimming with ideas like
Yeah?
about everything, about what songs we're gonna play, about what art we're gonna do and stuff like that. It's hard to like wrangle it all in because
Totally.
we just have like so much. You know,
It'll
it's
just
really
kinda
exciting.
snowball.
I feel like we have a lot of stuff that we come up with. So it's a
Yeah,
lot of
you
fun.
guys all sound really excited about it, which is a good sign. And I would give you guys advice, but it seems like you guys got it. You know what I mean? You guys are on it. Like, just get pictures and videos would be the next step. You know what I mean? Because that's like your currency on getting booked. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So any high quality pictures and videos you get would just be money in the bank soon. And any originals, of course. Do you guys have a plan on like? I know they're not done yet, quite yet, but once you do get these originals done, do you have a plan on recording them or doing it in town or one day or?
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I'm taking some recording classes right now, so we could always do like a little demo.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I would
ideally, it would be awesome to actually record something and get something out there, and ideally leave our mark on Athens.
something
Because
like
I mean,
tangible.
Yeah.
because
for sure.
like so many, like there are just so many cool bands that come out of Athens, and then who knows, like right
think-
now it's just
yeah,
a fun little project, but one day if we have that, like it would be cool to. If I ever have the opportunity to have kids and they come to UGA, which I would force them to, because they go dogs.
Yeah, good on.
As you should.
It would be so cool for them to be like, "Oh, mom, have you ever been to the 40 watt?" Like, blah blah blah. And it's like, actually, here's our live concert recording from that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it would be a dream for me
Iconic.
to be able to multi-track a live recording because that's the kind of stuff that I'm into. I love listening
Yeah.
to live recordings from
Yeah.
bands. The bands that are better live than they are in the studio are usually the bands that attract me the most.
Uh-huh.
And like obviously we want to have some studio stuff, but I think that for me I would be kind of like the ideal for me is I guess the goal is
Uh-huh.
to be able to like multi-track a live recording and be able to do
Yeah.
like release a
Totally.
concert
Yeah,
or
I've
something.
been so
That'd be
cool.
so cool.
I've been
Be
thinking
epic.
lately, like even like at some point down the road, if we ever want to get in the studio and play, like it might be a good idea for our like bands and our vibe to like even like live record in the studio instead of everybody playing to a click or whatever. To have like a Who type like live or like
Yeah.
or like Get Back type like
Yeah.
like live recorded setup, because I feel like that's how we work best with each other. And I think that that's a method that is like starting to become less, or is like a little bit less popular among bands. And I'll be really interested to see how it turns
You get more
out.
precision when you like track everybody's instruments like everything individually, but I feel like there's that kind of old style of recording where the band would get into the studio and just like play the song and there'd be mics everywhere that like mic it all up and it's like, okay, here's how they performed it like in the studio. Like I think that stuff is really cool because it's like that's really how the music gets made anyway.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Especially for like the you guys vibe. Like that's perfect. Like, I can't imagine you guys doing it separate to a clip.
Yeah.
That would just be like, what?
Yeah, no, it just wouldn't feel right, I don't think.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I think the live in the studio, you're right. Not many people are doing that these days. That'd be really cool. Like a live record from live in whatever studio, 1093 or something.
Yeah, I'd be really interested even to just see like what it sounds like from a first person perspective, like as opposed to like multi-track like overdubs and stuff.
You guys should holler at Jeff when you guys play 40 watt. He can record your show cheap. Yeah. Do a good job.
Love that guy.
Yeah, me too. Love Jeff.
Man.
You guys should just record with
He's
Jeff
one of
when
the
time
first
comes.
guys I ever interviewed in Athens.
Yeah? Interviewed? For
Yes,
what?
for my class.
Ah, word. Yeah, nice
I
guy.
remember he multi-tracked your guys' performance at FiSci when I had you guys at Player Party. That was really cool.
That was awesome.
I think he might have done
Do you
Shameless.
guys have a
at
copy
Roadhouse,
of
too.
that like,
We do. Do you want it?
sick.
Like
I'll get it bounced down,
yes,
send
I
your
do.
way.
Too Hot to
let's
Hold.
go.
Too Hot to Hold is probably one of my favorite songs.
Thank you, dude. I think that was the first time we ever got that like encored at a
Dude,
fraternity
I
show.
was so
that
happy you guys
awesome.
encored with that
Yeah.
because as soon as you played it the first time, I was like, "This is the theme of the weekend.
Let's
This is
go,
the vibe."
man. I appreciate it.
I love that song, man.
That
It's
was
so catchy. It's so fun.
Thank you. That was an unforgettable night for me, so I appreciate y'all having me. By
Yeah,
the
man.
way.
I honestly, unforgettable for me too. That weekend was a really great one, and then we went and saw you guys
fun.
at Paloma like 2 days
Paloma,
later.
I'm sure.
That was
crazy.
epic,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
I have a strong visualization of Paloma of like looking out. I think we were playing like one of the few originals we played. Like left, like not many people jumping. Then you look right, it's like you three, like just getting after. I don't know if you were there. Were you?
I don't think I was.
I don't think so, but you guys just
Oh my gosh,
hit
we brought-
it. I
we
was
brought
You
like,
bring out
We
a
brought Charles
crowd
with
though
us,
to
too.
Paloma. I've seen like some of the videos, and I was there. I
were
don't
a lot
remember
of
the last
people there.
semester
Yeah.
sometime. It's like packed.
yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
like
yeah.
I don't know. It's like hundreds and hundreds of people there.
Mainly just Paloma, like on game days, just money. You guys need to go ahead and
That,
book
that,
that for
that
next
place
year.
would be a dream to play.
Dude,
They're
go
there.
ahead and hit them up about the football season.
And then that big screen in the back too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get like the frog. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
they're-
about half the reason everybody hung around is because the Braves were playing that night behind. Every now and again, we'd be like slam in the middle of a song, and people would just start cheering. I was like, yes, like we're killing it. And I turned around, it's like a home run. I'm like, fuck, man. Still fun.
Hey, if we're there, we're cheering for you.
I
and not
appreciate
watching
that.
the
Oh,
screen.
yeah.
I have another memory of you two separately at Boar's Head though. We were playing Boar's Head a different night, like the same kind of thing. We're playing like one of the few originals we play, like. Maybe a few people jump and they look to right. Nikki's just getting after it. It's like vibing over there. And then we finished an original song at Boar's Head one time, and like it just got quiet for a second. You were like, "Yeah, that was dope. Where can I look that up at?" I was like, "Word." I was like, "Jameson Tank, check us out." Yeah, so that's awesome. I forgot where I was going with this. What were we talking about? Anything in particular? We're just vibing, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
we're
been-
just-
it's
We
been-
were talking about studio recording for a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah,
That's it. You guys should record at 1093.
Yeah.
If-
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys ever been there?
Jeffrey's?
That's Jeff.
That is Jeff's place,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I've been spending
Yeah,
a lot of
we
time
were-
in there. It's beautiful.
We went there when Fun Room was recording for a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Ben.
Oh yeah, because you were there. I think I told Tony about this, and you're like, "Oh, I was there like an hour earlier."
Yeah.
I think we like just missed each other.
Yeah, and I saw you guys at Boar's Head. I think you played that night or something. But
Just to
Oh
walk
my
inside
gosh,
a
it was-
studio. Like I've never been inside a studio before.
oh, dude,
They
come
were-
by
It was
some
cool.
like, sometime.
Like
They
I
were
would
killing
quit my
it.
shit
Oh
inside
my
the
gosh.
studio. Like I would
Yeah.
be like nerding out about
If
every
we would
little piece
ever
of
like
technology in
ha-
there.
You would
have-
love 1090.
if we were recording and we had Jeff produce us, like I would give him such an earful because, like I said earlier, I'm an audiophile.
Yeah.
Oh, that one needs more highs. Oh, scoop the mids out of this one.
He would
Like,
love it, though. He would love it.
I'd be all over that shit. Like it's
Like
I try to make that. I don't think that I have talked about this yet, but I feel like that's a part of our live performance that we try to also make like important is that a lot of the times you have a lot of like different tones that are stepping on top of each other, especially when you
Totally.
play live with like bands in town who don't really like think about that kind of stuff. But like especially with Kyle and I's guitars, it's like we try to cut out a specific part of the EQ of the whole band mix for each of our guitars.
Yeah.
That way you can hear both of them.
like
Yeah.
soundscaping.
Yeah, and part of
Yeah.
it is playing different stuff. So we'll always try to like if he's playing, the same. If he's playing a chord in like the open position or whatever, like I'll try not to do that. I'll play it like up higher or somewhere else. But it's also about like Kyle's sound is like more scooped. Like he's got more bass and high end. So I try to take the middle, like the mids more and stuff like that.
That's
And
smart
I
to
feel like-
think about.
Yeah, and I feel like it's really worked out for us because I feel like we've had really good reviews from like our audibility
Yeah.
at shows. I feel like people have been able to hear both of our instruments and as well as like you can hear the bass over the drums and the drums through the bass and stuff like that
Yeah,
too. And
you're
like
only 5
Nikki's
shows in.
vocal always like stands out in front, and the guitarists don't step on her feet too much either. So
Word.
that's nice.
That's smart. How many bands are thinking about it? I think that one of the biggest mistakes, and then again, this is subjective, of course, I see people making is too many things playing at the same time for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like mainly guitars, not hating the guitar guys because I'm a guitar guy, but like it'll just be like, yo, you don't need to be doing that. Like you don't have to be playing it all the time. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's something that we're learning
Yeah.
too. We actually mentioned that last week at practice. We were like, as we get more comfortable with the songs and as we get more comfortable playing with each other, it's like you get more comfortable leaving more space in your playing because you know that everybody else is going to pick it up.
Yeah, the more the better.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't wait to get you on the studio then. Like I want to see y'all recording this semester. You guys think you can make that happen?
I hope so.
I would hope so. I would say by the end of April, I feel like we can make something happen
Oh,
for
totally,
sure.
man. Oh shit, bro. If you guys are working on them now, come on. You guys got it in March, baby.
If not professionally, I'll do it for my class project because I know I'm probably gonna have to do
Where's that,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, just getting there and playing live, and like you guys were saying, that Fun Room shit sounded incredible.
Oh
Little
my
sneak peek
gosh.
for everybody. The Fun Room EP sounds fucking sick. Have you
Yeah.
guys heard any of it?
I haven't heard anything.
Chills.
No.
I know it's in the works, but I
Dude, I was blown away, and I've sat in with Jeff on a lot of sessions, and like afterwards, you know, it's like, oh, it's just still got to be mixed, you know, but like Fun Room the day of was like sounding nice. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah, no, it sounded mixed already.
Yeah, it did. The day of, I was like, holy fuck.
They're good
man.
about that. They're good about like having a nice mix.
Yeah,
they're
smart guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Well,
That-
awesome.
that's what I noticed when we saw them initially. Like I mentioned earlier, I was like, oh, they had like a 3 guitar arrangement for some songs, but
Yeah.
it was like the fact that the third guitar was acoustic guitar gives it a completely different texture than the other 2 guitars. You know, I'm like, oh, and they actually were able to like mix it and balance it really well, which is something that I feel like is really important for playing live that people don't think about because like if you're playing in Roadhouse or like downstairs at
Boar's Head.
at Boar's Head, like. You know, the acoustics in there tend to be a
Just
little
awful.
hectic. Yeah, it tends to be a little hectic for sure. So like,
Just awful at best.
being able to be heard, especially for us, we all have to listen to each other when we're
Yeah.
playing, or else we're going to be completely lost. So
That's
like,
awesome.
hearing each other is a big part of it too.
Good for y'all. That's very smart. It's a lot of bands aren't thinking about this necessarily, so that's great. So we're 122 minutes in. Can you guys believe that? I think this might be the first episode that's ever gone to 2 hours. This might be it.
We're talkers.
Look at you guys go. I
We
like
all
it.
have ADHD, so
Any
I mean,
of the 5 of us, we could hold a conversation for an hour and a half.
I
Anyway.
love it.
So
Yeah.
the fact
Usually-
that we're all in the same room, like,
But you guys do good about not talking over each other, which is very impressive and very, very wise of you guys. I appreciate that. So yeah, what do you say we kind of start closing this guy up? Like, what are the like closing notes on like where you guys want to be at the end of this semester? Where do you guys want to be at the end of this year? Like, what is the goal here? Do you know what I mean?
by the end of the semester, I just want to be able to know that I've played in Athens and I can go somewhere and have people up in the front row dancing like Allie and I would.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great goal.
I would say like with originals, playing at ticketed venues would be like
There you go.
the ultimate goal.
Nice.
I think another thing to add there for me is like being a consistent player around town because it's like
true, that too.
you know, like I feel like Fun Room plays like every weekend, every other weekend, and like same with like the regulars. Like I see them like all over town.
They
all
play
over.
regularly.
They do play regularly.
Goats.
And yeah,
Got
and,
their,
I think that for us playing regularly around town would be something that is definitely a huge goal for me. Because
Awesome.
That's where it's at.
Aloe, you got anything?
I mean, I think definitely like the recording. I like that studio recording idea. I was like, ooh.
I was
That's
like,
a
good
thought.
idea, yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of want like my parents to like come to a show and be like, hey, that was really good.
Yo.
Because I'm always like, hey, you should come over to this. So I like pat on the back.
Yeah.
You know, like
just
the
to know you
family
did
art
it.
major. I'm like, please, like, I want like something like, be proud of me. They are. I'm not.
I'm sure they are. That's awesome. I think live at 1093 would be sick. That's honestly a pretty good idea. Why aren't people doing that? That's a great idea.
I don't know. I feel like
Fuck,
They're
I
scared.
might beat
They're
y'all
scared.
to it, man.
Oh,
That's a
man,
great
no.
idea.
Actually, we
man.
copyrighted that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
actually,
okay.
yeah.
There's a patent in the works right now.
Yeah, there's a patent in the
Gotcha.
works.
Makes sense. Since you just told me.
I actually just texted Jeff.
Oh, word. Okay. My bad.
And he said that you can't do it.
Sorry, I have that
Jeff.
reserved for Florida. Man.
That's pain, Jeff. That hurts, brother.
yeah,
Well, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming in. This has been a blast.
Yeah,
I
man,
really
thank-
enjoyed it. You guys are so excited about what you're doing. I appreciate it. I love to see people doing what they need to be doing. I think you guys should keep it up. Don't let that graduation kill this band. I swear I'll be pissed. I'm mad. I'm going to come after y'all if it gets killed, man, because you guys have so much potential. You're excited about it. Good for y'all. So, yeah, tell the camera where to find your Instagrams and all that good shit.
All right, so
Plug the graphics. Plug everything.
You
know what
can
I
find us on Instagram at Florida Man Band. That's band BANDD.
Nice.
Bandada at Florida Man Band. Also, if you're in town, you can come see us on February 17th at Clark's.
Oh, yeah.
9 to 11.
In case you forgot.
Where
February
at?
17th.
At Clark's.
Where?
Or
It's downtown.
From
on
9 to
streets.
11.
Clark Standard or whatever it's called.
Or
Park Central.
Or if you can't make it that week, you can come out the next weekend. We'll be playing at Roadhouse on February 26th from
That's
10:30
exciting.
to whenever we
Whenever we
finish
feel like
jamming.
it.
Nice. 4 a.m. Nice.
4 a.m.
Okay.
Till
yeah.
the police kick us out.
Drag us out.
What was your graphic name again for the people?
Alloperp, ALLOEPURP.
Nikki's just a good follow for Athens content. Go ahead and give him the
Ah,
Nikki.
thank you. Nikki _ Shotz,
You might as well give
SHOTZ.
y'all's personals too. Go ahead. I wanted some followers go.
I actually got to check. I'm pretty sure my Instagram is Kyle
Big
Becker.
Instagram guy.
I'm pretty sure my Instagram is Kyle Becker _ So
Love it.
It might
How
have
about
a
you?
9
You know
in there.
yours?
Yeah, my Instagram is Drew Becker 2, the number 2.
Nice.
So.
yeah, Kyle Becker _ I don't post a lot, but like
We're gonna step that up. We're gonna fix that.
yeah. I've been thinking about posting more like changing the account to gear it more like a musician, posting
Bro,
like some
post
guitar
some
content. and
gear
stuff.
clips.
Once we get some
Short
more,
clips.
Yeah.
Florida Man content,
Oh, it's
Kyle's
coming.
Instagram will be popping off for
I
sure.
believe it, man. I believe it. Well, thank you guys again for coming in. Thanks everybody for watching. If you made it 127 minutes in, I'm pretty proud of that. I appreciate the ongoing support for the show. Check out the Fun Room episode. Check out the Stews episode that's out tomorrow. A few other episodes. The regulars, you should check that one out. They've been referenced a lot this past couple episodes. Really great. Subscribe to the podcast, all that good shit. Thank you gues for coming in. See you. Give them the wave
Thank
with the
you.
thumbnail. Give
Thank
me a
you.
wave.
Thanks for having us, Jameson.
Everybody smile.
Bye.
Nice. All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
There's a glitz, a glitch in the system.